All right, all right, all right.
Hostile Therapy. All right, welcome to another episode of Hostile Therapy on Thursdays at 7 p.m. on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. And here again is me, Big Red. We got somebody coming in from another podcast called the Listen Up and Listen In podcast. She's going to be joining us and talking about differences between bro codes and girl codes. Sparky T is in the background somewhere. Wait till she gets in. And LT, he's coming in just a little bit. While we at it, let's talk about the Listen Up, Listen In podcast. Tell us a little bit about it. What is your podcast about, and where can we find you?
Hey, what's up, Big Red? Thank you for allowing me to be on your show. And my name is Preezy, and I'm from Brooklyn. And my podcast is Listen Up, Listen In. And you can find my podcast at www.listenuplistenin5687.com. And what my podcast is about is I like to talk about different things. It comes on every Friday.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about different things to educate, motivate, differentiate, heal, laugh, grow, all the things that's going on in the world today. So that's what I'm about.
Okay. Well, you definitely need to heal, grow, laugh, and all those things. And with what's going on in the world today, there's so much going on.
Yeah.
So you said you come on, what days do you come on? You said
Every Friday.
every Friday?
Yes.
Okay, then. And the places we can find you on, again, could you say that for us?
Oh, yes. I am on all the podcast platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor. Anyone you think of, I am on it.
Okay. How long you been doing this?
Oh, I'm a new jack.
You're new jack. Okay.
Oh yeah, I started in May of this year.
Okay.
Yes.
And is the stress reaching you yet? You have
It's
a
no
team?
joke, but you know what? It keeps me going.
Keep you going.
It's
Okay.
more therapeutic for me
Okay.
because I lost my mom in 2020 for COVID,
Mm-hmm.
and so I needed uh, something to help me and keep me busy. And this is it. This podcasting keeps me busy.
Okay.
Yeah. But I enjoy it. I have a good time.
Okay.
You know.
Is it just you on the show? Do you have a co-host? Or is it
Oh
just
yes. My co-host guest comes on some of my episodes once in a while. Her name is Giggles.
Giggles?
Yes, that's a
E
nickname.
and G. Preezy and Giggles.
Yes. So most of the time she'll be on some of my, episodes. But if not, it's just me or other guests that I may have on my podcast.
Okay. Was this something that you probably would envision you did 5 years ago? Being on a podcast or anything related to broadcasting?
To be honest, I always wanted to be on a radio show. I wanted to have
Okay.
my own radio show. But time and your career, I'm a retired correction officer, so you don't really have no time
Right.
to be thinking about doing things like that. And then when you retire, you be like, damn, I need something to do. And so with that happened in our lives,
Mm-hmm.
with my mom, I was like, okay, you know what? Me and Giggles was just laughing one day. We was pretending that we was like on a radio station. And she said, you ever thought about getting into it? And I said,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I need something. I talk all day. So
Right.
why not let the world hear me?
Right.
Here
I
I
think
am.
that's how most comedians start. Like, you're really funny. You ever thought about getting on stage and telling your jokes to the world?
Yes.
Then I get booed off stage. Yeah.
That's all right. Try again.
You give up that career. Now, I'd be like T.I., except I got to have a couple $1,000,000 to fall back on in case it doesn't work out, right?
Yeah. But that's all right. You know what? If you make one person laugh, that's
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as long as it's not laughing at you, there's a difference. There's for you and then there's at you, just it's almost like bullying. You're like, okay,
yes.
we want to laugh at you. Come on stage, please, so we can laugh at you at your horrible jokes. So yeah, I don't want to be that kind of comedian.
Right. Yeah.
that probably could happen if I were to play some sort of sport on a national televised show, and they could be laughing at me when I'm not trying to make them laugh.
Exactly.
Right. I
Yeah.
swear to God, I'm shooting the basketball like I was taught to. This is not
Right, right.
trying to see where this Sparky T. She's in the background, but she hasn't.
So
Sparky T.
how long have you been doing
About 5 years. About
oh
5.
nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Well, you might be somebody I'm gonna have to text and be like, "Oh, you do this."
Please do, because I didn't have nobody to help me. And I asked all the people that said they were doing it for years and stuff. No, they were like, Google it. So I got.
Wow. Okay.
I was like, really? Is that how we're gonna do? That's how black folks gonna do, and white folks and Mexicans too. We all just gonna just Google it. It's like, damn,
Mhm.
boy. They were
Yeah.
like absentee fathers to me. Oh, they just didn't care.
Wow.
They're like,
Wow.
we'll be back. We're gonna go to the gas station, go get some cigarettes. I'll be back. Never came back with no information.
Never came back, right? Wow.
No. It's like, damn, boy.
Wow. Well,
Look,
they
she just
say
popped up there. Damn, she just popped up there.
she came
Sparky, come back.
on.
There she go.
Hey, hey,
There you go.
how y'all
All right,
doing tonight?
Hey, Sparky T.
Hey,
all right. Where LT is? I just saw him in the back chat. I don't know if he's looking for the link or what, but we're gonna go ahead and move forward. Let me ask you. Oh, hold on. I think he just messaged me. Hold on. Let's see. Yeah, he's in the sound check link. He in the wrong link. Let's see. Let me resend him the link again. Oh damn. Hold on just a sec. Y'all talk amongst yourself. Let me get this to LT right quick.
So Sparky T, where you from?
I'm actually from Hereford, Connecticut, but I live in Charlotte. I live in Charlotte now, so.
There we go. We got him.
Okay, nice.
There we go. What's
I
up,
heard you
LT?
say. You said you're in Brooklyn.
Yeah, I'm from Brooklyn.
Okay. You
Yeah.
were a correction officer.
Retired correctional officer. Yeah. Wasn't easy, girl. Wasn't
Service
easy.
and
But
shit. You know what I mean?
I bet it wasn't easy, especially in that area.
yes. Yes.
What
So were you at Rikers?
I was at Rikers.
that's what I was just about to ask. Gee,
I
how
worked
many years?
21 years with the
Yeah.
women.
Okay.
Man, they would have to give me a
Shit.
service package out there.
Yeah, it's no joke. It's bad now. When I came on, it wasn't so bad, but now
It was a good time out there. I've never heard it
Right.
good.
I was about to say, okay.
it
I
was a
thought it was
little bit
okay.
more. It was a little bit more easy than what the officers are going through now. So
All right. All right, we got everybody here, so we going to get started.
Where I had a solo podcast over on the other link for like 15 minutes.
Okay, I saw you over there. I just thought maybe you get ready to switch over.
I was really sitting there. I was like, so
Damn,
Red, I don't know if you on the other end, if you can hear me or not, but I don't know if you've been reading the news lately, but like I had a whole 1-man set. It
You had
was
some of
Lord
the
Trent
best,
Raw over in that
some of the
bitch.
best jokes you were telling over there. You got to remember them though. You got to write them down.
Nope, they're all going. They're all going. Whatever.
It's just like dreams, right?
Whoever was ghost watching got all those jokes. We'll see them in like
oh,
in like 30 in like 30 weeks in some Netflix sitcom that gets made to stop
All right.
y'all from unsubscribing to Netflix for the 30th time.
All right. Let's go and start off what we are here for. Talk about respect the code, the bro code versus the girl code. Pretty much speaking on bro code, what we have for when we're dealing with relationships on our side of the table, and what women deal with their girl code when they're dealing with their relationships. See if there's any differences between us or if we have anything in common. And since you are the guest on the show tonight, we'll let you go first. We're going to give you 2 minutes to initially talk about it. Everybody's gonna get 2 minutes to initially talk about it. Then it's kind of a free for all about the girl code, girl codes that you find women should respect. Maybe a lot of times they don't. You just tell us your point of view. Maybe there's a story behind something you've dealt with before, and something bad happened from a girl code. Like I don't know, stole your husband's food or boyfriend's food or something. I don't know. Just making something up as we go. But you have 2 minutes to go. Preezy, tell us a girl code. You can just give us one. You don't have to give us a whole bunch of them. You can just how many you can in 2 minutes. Initial talk. Girl code that should be kept with amongst women, your friends, or co-workers that are women too. It don't matter. Women, period. All right.
Are you ready?
All right.
Go!
Go ahead.
All right. Well, the number one girl code for me is to whatever I tell you, it should be just for you, not for this person, not for that person. I'm coming to you. You my girl. You my ride or die. We keep secrets. A secret is the definition of a secret is not to tell it. So if I have something to tell you, I don't expect for you to tell the next person. Just like I wouldn't do that for you to you. That's the girl code for me. Or one, I should say.
Okay. If you want to keep going, that's fine. Or if you want to stop there, that's fine too.
No, that's I'm hitting the point. Don't be telling my business, and I ain't gonna
All
be
right.
telling you what.
All right. Keep your mouth shut.
Your
No,
mouth.
no snitching between you two. All right. All right. LT, tell us a
You're
girl code that us men should adhere to.
Are
let's
you
see.
ready? Go!
Um, I'm gonna be honest. I haven't had to adhere to any like bro codes in like so damn long. I've also been happy. Um, but let's implement one. Let's normalize telling our bros when you could be doing a little bit more. Sometimes we're lacking purpose, sometimes we're lacking sense, direction in our lives. Sometimes if you have a friend that you're tired of picking up from wherever he's at because he's not mobile, you have a friend that is always unemployed, normalize telling them to put down the controller or the joystick, whatever they're doing. Normalize telling them to stop chasing females that obviously don't want them. Like, normalize being good friends to your bros and telling them the things you're doing are going to get you nowhere. And I'm telling you this because I want to see you go much further. Stop dragging each other down, pretty much. Like, I hate the groups of dudes that sit together and just, what I hate about women, and then it's just, like
Mm,
it just all because these women are telling you about yourselves, and we need to be more as men, we need to get used to telling each other about ourselves more. We need to be used to being honest with each other. Don't give your bros passes. Like, one of the most interesting quotes I've ever seen is so many women can say that they are friends or know someone that has been sexually assaulted, but not that many men are able to say they know someone who has committed sexual assault.
okay.
So we gotta call each other out. We gotta, what I'm saying, the world that you want to see, because a lot of us grow up and we become parents. You have daughters. The universe is very funny. Karma is the real law, and things happen. So create the world that you want your children to live in.
Okay. I can see that's a good one because
That was bars
that
already. I'm hot.
that could relate. Well, that does relate to relationships because if you see them messing
If
up,
you, boom, if you see your homeboy cheating on his girl,
right?
call him out on that shit.
Yeah. Okay. That's
They
accountability.
would say, and that they would say that's a violation of bro code, actually.
Someone,
But
yes, some
I'm
would
saying
say that.
let's change bro code.
Change it. Okay.
Mhm.
Goddamn.
All right. Okay.
It's tea. It's just tea. I swear to God. But it's chamomile. Ow.
Chamomile.
Shit.
All right. Spark of tea. I'll let you go next on this one. What is something in the girl code Bible that women should adhere to amongst other women?
Are you
I
ready?
think
Go!
I think that women should lift women up. Like no matter what. Sometimes women I find that they can be catty, We cannot even know the other woman, and there's automatically some issues or things like that. We need to try to find the things that we have that are similar, the common things, the common ground that we can get on and grow from there. And the older women need to teach the younger women. Like sometimes the younger women may not have been taught. Everybody hasn't been taught the same thing. So if you see a younger woman or a woman your age is doing something that you feel like is out of bounds, making us look bad or whatever, you should step in and say something. But you got to say it out of love. And it doesn't have to be from a form of judgment, and it never should come from a place of putting somebody down. We are always there to lift our young sisters up, and a lot of times it doesn't seem like that's the what's going on, but that's the thing that I live by. I always make sure I'm trying to lift up my young women, and I don't have a problem with other women. Girl, I see you for what you're doing, and I celebrate you with what you have going on, and hopefully you can celebrate me too.
Right.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Got code, broke code. What would I go with?
Are you ready? Go!
Okay. Yeah, I think this was an easy one. Y'all may disagree, but if I do not think a friend of yours or family member of yours should date someone that you previously dated. No matter the level of intent that you two had together, whether it was just regular girlfriend, someone you married, I think that's off limits. There's a lot of reasons why that can just go wrong because you know good and well. If you do date the person that you formerly that I formerly dated or whatever, you're gonna start talking about the past and stuff, and you're gonna be like, she's gonna say bad stuff about you, and that's probably gonna sour the relationship between you and your cousin, friend, or brother, whoever it is that's dating your ex. I think that's why it should be off limits because it's not going to end up good because she's going to say something bad about you, and that's just natural. I mean, nobody really talks great about their ex for the most part. They may have some good things, but most of
Right.
the time, you broke up for a reason,
Right.
right? You broke up for a reason. Another one, and this may be a small one. This may be a little bit of a more personal one. Then, when you go and meet your significant other, let's see, your cousin, brother, friend, or whatever, the hugs exchanged, they need not last past 5 seconds. It needs to be like one of those you know nice to meet you type of hugs, and then we'll back off, because that's a little bit too intimate. Same thing. I've seen the same thing with girl code too. It's like you can't be hugging too long. You can't hug too long because now it's looking like there's sexual interest in there. You got to back up. 2 second hug at the most. After that, you got to back up. Those are small bro codes. Now I don't have no big ones after that, but yeah, that's mine.
Mm.
Anyone got any other ones? You want to go in that's you think is either ridiculous or something other women or guys should adhere to?
Let's see. I mean, obviously, like, I mean, it should go without saying. Like, maybe don't try to holler at your friend's significant other. Like, I noticed that a lot. Like, there's always like that's understated, but it should be stated more, even though it shouldn't have to be stated. Like,
It
there's
shouldn't.
always people can always find a way to justify why they did something, or because a lot based upon a lot of what you were saying, you're spending a different, you're getting this person in a different capacity now than just just them being a third party, them being my significant other. Now you're involved with them, and you're viewing me in a different light. So yeah, let's maybe not do that while while we're still calling each other friends. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, maybe don't try to, because again, I've been in certain circles where they'll try to make you feel like, well, you should actually thank your friend for showing you that your significant other wasn't actually for you, which just seems like it doesn't seem like anyone was for me in that situation.
Right.
Like,
Let
I
me
should
ask.
like two snakes bit me. Why should I keep one?
Right. One wasn't poisonous though, but both of
One
them
wasn't
were
poisonous. One strangled me. The other one bit me.
delicious. Let me ask both sides on this though. Can your friend, girl and guys, can they call your significant other for like tips, friendly tips, or just conversation over the phone? Can they call them?
If it's strictly platonic, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, they could be They could have been friends before me, before I came into the picture.
I'm saying if they're new, if they're brand new to the situation, they're like,
No,
oh,
what you calling him for? You call me. Or
right,
you call somebody else. Don't be calling my ex. You
right.
out of line. And
I'm
no,
not even saying ex. I'm like saying someone you're with. Like, can they call them like like they have advice for something? They want to
so
ask you for
you
advice.
They
saying
can call them. I'm
can my
sorry. Go
boyfriend call you saying can my friend call my boyfriend for advice?
Yeah,
Try it.
right.
ahead.
Damn,
You try it. You
damn! I
try
saw
it. You
that.
know better than that.
I
And
saw
if
the
that's your
correctional officer
friend,
come
she
out on that
should
one.
know better. See, now we gotta know the difference between friends and associates.
Right,
Because if that's your friend, she should know better than to do something like that. Would
right,
she like for me to call her man or her husband?
right.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
you gotta know who your friends are and who are not your friends, and that's the problem in the world today. Because people can play games like they're your friends. Now, if Sparkle and me and Sparkle is cool, why am I calling her man for advice? I should be calling Sparkle or
Right.
calling one of my homeboys that's probably not in a relationship, or call both of them at the same time. Hey, Sparkle, I'd like to ask you and James a question. I'm not gonna call her man and ask for advice. I don't think Sparky. I said Sparkle. I'm sorry. You are Sparkle, honey, but I meant Sparky.
You are.
I don't. It all depends, and it depends on her. Like, I mean, it's a catch-22 because she may feel, hey, Preezy, go ahead, but I don't think I would unless she was there. Out of respect for her. Let's say her man knows something about cars. Sparky, you think I could call James and ask him something about my car? Let's say I'm not with nobody, but
Mhm.
she's got to be there. She's gonna
Yeah.
be next to
There's a
him.
gate.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Mhm.
I don't think. I mean, to each his own, but I wouldn't like it.
Okay. Okay. What do you think about the one I laid out as far as dating your ex?
No,
Like,
that's not
okay,
the
a
question.
cousin or yeah, okay.
We
Now
ain't
I,
doing
That's a
that.
no
I'm
go.
I'm in a weird situation, or
No,
like, because
no.
I've had friends that have dated my exes before, friends that have literally just tried to, and it boils down to certain it boils down to certain things. Like you like exactly what you said. Sometimes you have to know who your real friends are, and sometimes how much of a friend they consider you, because that's really what it takes. Like, you may consider them your bestest friend in the whole wide world, but when it comes down to I'm not getting some pussy or some dick, then I'm not that cool with that motherfucker. What you mean? What you mean? Yeah, we could do something. We could slide. You know what I'm saying? Like, so bro code, like I can't speak to girl code. I don't know how that works. I've seen the show, love it. But bro code only works to us, it only works to serve us against them meaning women, but it
Mhm.
doesn't work to serve us individually as bros. Like, bro code is literally something only meant to protect men from, hey, look, if my girl call, I need y'all to say this, all right? Bros on, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's what bro code is meant for. But there's, I mean, time and time again, history has shown us a lot of feuds between men has always been over a woman. Like, look at how the Trojan War started. It was
Wars. Yep.
literally over a mid ass Helen. Helen's not even a fire name for a woman, like, for them to be fighting over, but they was really fighting over that broad. You know what I'm saying? Because there's no bro code. Like, Paris came into this to like the Trojans came over to Greece, was like, hey, look, let's stop the war, let's stop fighting, let's be bros, let's be bros. And they was like, oh, yeah, you know what? We want to stop fighting. That's, you know what? We fucks with y'all Trojans. Y'all make some good horses. If y'all make some really dope horses and shit. So they was about to be cool, but then the Trojan Prince Paris was like, "Hey, who that? Oh, that's Helen of Sparta. She's the fairest maiden in all of Greece or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Don't fuck with her though. She is the queen of Sparta. That nigga Menelaus will be on your ass. Fuck Menelaus. Tell him I said the girl is mine. Got get that. The hoe is mine.
In that tea. Hey,
Yeah.
And
Ain't
that's
no.
and that's how the
hey,
Trojan War happened, because a nigga violated bro code to serve himself.
That's also to help us. That's to help the whole mankind because, as you said, men. Not women. Men are always starting wars. Women could care less.
They
For
really
the
could.
most part. They care, but they directed at the individual that messes with the guy. We
Yeah.
will destroy worlds, countries over
Men
somebody
can
messing with a
destroy the
woman.
world. Women can destroy men that destroy the world.
They usually
Look at what
pinpoint.
Cleopatra did to the Roman Empire.
Right. And that's because she was, she was stupid.
It's because she
But
was the baddest bitch.
yeah,
Shout out Trina. I was watching Hip Hop Awards last night.
yeah, that was mid. I saw that. It was okay. But yeah,
I,
okay.
I
Yeah.
watched it because of Fat Joe. He was dope. I love Fat Joe.
What else y'all got? Yeah, what girl code, guy culture got? Sparky, what you got? You got anything else? Something that's just off limits or should be respected amongst your female friends.
Well, definitely the exes. The exes are always off limits. Period. It's not how far you were or what kind of relationship it was. That's off limits. I also don't. I'm my only child, but I don't. I would if I had a brother. My brother would be off limits too to my
Oh,
girls because I think that starts a lot of. It's hard for you to be my girlfriend and talk to me about your dude when your dude is my brother. Because don't forget, you're still talking about my brother. You know what I'm saying? So it gets a little sticky. Like even now, I have a one of my good girls. She's my cousin's girlfriend. So we speak freely. But it's still one of them things that we remember. That's still my cousin that we talking about. But she's like such a good friend. Sometimes when she be talking, I know she be forgetting, and that's okay because we really are friends. But like if I had a brother, I wouldn't want one of my good girlfriends in a relationship with him. I think that would be too much. I think that would be too much. It's almost like a lawyer trying to, do both sides of the transaction. How you gonna be neutral? How you gonna you can't
The
have two
prosecution and the
masters, so to
DA.
speak. Yeah, 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 yeah. That don't. It's hard. So I wouldn't want that. That's the other thing.
I got one for you. What are the seating arrangements? Okay, let's say we got a couch. Your Preezy, I ask you. Your man's in there. Your friend's there. You're getting ready in the back. Man sits down on the couch. Girl sits down on the couch. What inches or feet should they be apart on the couch? Can it be this close? They gotta be this far apart. What is too close to be on the couch? I know it sounds like a little thing, but it's a big thing too.
They told us to separate with the COVID 6 feet.
Ooh,
6 feet.
6 feet.
And I'm not insecure. I'm not. Because you
It's
can't stop a
respect.
person from doing anything. You
Yeah,
just can't. They gonna do something, they gonna do it. Um,
it's just respect. That's what I
it's
say.
respect, and I don't know. My circle is small because listen, I know people that have been friends for 30 years and they have done something trifling to them. So was they really a friend? It's hard. Like that the loyalty is not like it used to be back
No,
in the days. Like and my mother always told me, you lucky if you're gonna have two good, true friends. You're lucky. So he should be respecting me and my friend should be respecting me. You shouldn't be sitting up. Maybe one shouldn't even be sitting on the couch. Maybe he should be sitting in another chair and letting her sit on the couch. I don't know. You gotta watch. Sometimes you gotta. I don't know. I'm
sit
a.
on. You sit on the
I
floor
studied
Indian style.
private investigation, so I don't know. You can't do too much around me without me putting that eye up like the rock. Like, but my job is not to watch you like that. Because if I gotta watch you like that, I don't want to be with you. I don't
Right.
want that. I don't need that extra, all that energy. What he doing? Who he with? What he doing? What? I don't want that. I don't want no friend like that, and I don't want no man like that. So, but you know, I think people should have common sense.
Yeah.
Have
Some
common
it ain't
sense,
always common though.
right?
Right.
Sometimes you got to talk these things out. Different cultures, different, raised differently, and they've seen different things happen growing up, and they like, well, where I come from, 3 feet. 3 feet is good. 6 feet might be good to someone else. 6 feet is a very good thing. I
Right.
think we
But
should
I,
keep that
I
around.
think if that's your friend, she should know you. She should know your style. She should know what you expect. She should know better. unless she playing games. Like my friends, they know we have the girl talk. We talk about different things. So you already know Preezy. Oh, this is who Preezy is. This is who this person is. So I don't know. It's you really gotta know who's your friend today and who's not. You really do.
I got one that just popped up in my head. This is for you, Preezy and Sparky. And this is not really like friend girls, but it's another woman. So, and I've seen this question asked before. Okay, so you're in a relationship with your man, and you're getting ready to go. Let's see where we're gonna go at. You're gonna ride to somebody's house for Thanksgiving. All right, the house is like an hour away. It's you, your man, and his mother.
Mm.
Who rides in the front? Who rides in the back?
I let Sparky take that.
That
I
was
know
incredibly
I
diplomatic.
already spoke, so I want to let her talk.
Woo. Me personally, I'm not tripping about who sits where, because I'm
Okay.
usually the one driving. I drive for a living. So when we go places, I'm usually the one driving. So I sit in the driver's seat. Everybody else sit accordingly. I don't care if his mama want to sit next to me or he want to sit next to me. I wouldn't care. But I do know that
I
I
ain't
know in
sitting in
some
the back.
situations, huh?
I ain't sitting in the back. I don't care who driving.
You ain't sitting in the back. You don't care who driving.
Nah,
See, and
my
to
leg's
me,
too
like,
long.
I have a son that's 6 feet, like 6'4". My son,
Right.
my
God damn.
18-year-old son, is 6'4".
Like,
He wears a size 15 shoe. He usually gets the front seat, no matter where we driving, because he the biggest person, even though he the
yeah,
youngest.
you
I'm
need
not
that.
about to have him in the back cramped up, just for the sake of, oh, well, my man got to sit over there. Nah, nah.
Yeah, because that's for aesthetic. Like at that point, who are you? Who are you trying to like?
Right. You got your
Like,
kid as the pretzel in the back, so your little dude could sit next to you just so he could be happy because he's sitting next to you or something like that. So now I don't get into that.
because if you
I'm
have a
saying
man that pays attention to that kind of thing, so you just gonna let your son sit in the front seat, sir? You're
you're not the
5'7".
dude for
Like,
me. Yeah, you're not the dude for me. If that's what you're dealing with, you're not the dude for me.
Gee, I'm head of household. I'm gonna sit in the front. Shoot, you gonna sit in the back.
well,
That's
you're pretty tall too, so you also need a front seat. I'm
yeah.
But
I'm
like if that
I'm
was
I'm
the
real even
case,
6'9".
I would let you drive, and then my son would still be in the front, and I would get in the back. I do it often. I ain't tripping. I know my
I wanna hold
position,
your
so it's
hand.
not about a seat,
If I want to
huh?
hold your hand, I got to reach all the way back and drive too with a gangster
That's
lean
Well,
on.
it.
hopefully you holding my hand enough that you don't just got to be doing it in the car. Or if you can't do it in the car, then it's an issue. Hopefully you holding it other places too. That it'll be okay if you can't hold it in the car for X amount of time, so everybody can be comfortable.
No, I'm shy. I can't do it outside of the car. We just do it.
That's my
No, I'm
least
kidding.
favorite place
I'm
to
kidding.
hold the hand is in the front. Like, because we could die. Like if I don't have both hands on this wheel, like if Jesus don't have this hand, like I need both my hands on the
You just
wheel
gotta take the wheel, right?
just in case he don't. Because when's the last time he drove? You know,
Been a minute. Been
he
a minute.
walks on water. He doesn't need to drive.
Right.
Oh,
I
pilot.
think
Y'all not reading your
when it
Bible.
comes to the mom, I've always asked the mom, "Do you want to sit in the front?" I always ask.
Mm-hmm.
That's just
Begrudgingly, you want to
"Ma,
sit in front.
you want to sit in the front, ma?" And they would say, "Oh no, baby, go on and sit up in the front." But I just ask. Now,
Mm-hmm.
ma, you want to sit in the front? No,
I think
no,
that's what
go.
mothers are looking for too.
I
I
do.
think
I
moms are
do
looking
it.
for you to ask.
I just ask. That's just me.
What if she just like automatically just gets up front? Just like she ain't even
But
waiting for you.
I'm like Sparky. I ain't tripping about that.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
do this behind her chin.
She
But
like,
I don't.
he's
I don't
always gonna be my
I
baby.
respect. I
That's
respect. I respect. People's parents. So she just go ahead. Go ahead. It ain't. It's not taking nothing from us. Maybe I want to sit in the back. Maybe I want to stretch my leg out. Or maybe I want to just relax and I don't. I'm not worried about that. But I will ask out of respect, Mom. Ma Duke, you wanna sit up? She say yeah. She say no. It don't matter. But I'm like Sparky. I drive.
mm-hmm.
So I'm always the one that's driving. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who's sitting in the front, back, trunk, roof. Oh,
Trunk roof.
it
Damn.
don't matter. Everybody get in. Come on. I'm a Uber. Come on, everybody. I'll take everybody. It don't matter.
Don't let me catch y'all being in the back of a VW Beetle. And then
No
y'all
comment.
gonna draw straws trying to see who's gonna be in the front.
I don't know. It's too much things to worry about besides the little things like that. It's just too much going on to worry about small stuff like that.
But you
I
you
want
know,
everybody to be comfortable.
right. But you know. I mean, you may be cool. Sparky may be cool. You know, there's those dynamics where mother and girlfriend or mother and wife are fighting for, not respect, but time with the son almost. It's like, they're trying to see who's the first woman that's what it kind of feels like. It's like, who's the first lady? Who's really the first
That's
lady
a
in my
real
son's life?
classic sitcom trope.
It
Or
happens a lot,
like
and
it's
Well, I
and
was
then,
very, very close with my mom.
mm-hmm,
Very close. And we only get one mother. That's how I
mm-hmm,
feel. And you want to spend time with your mother and stuff like that. I don't care, because I always was taught the way a man treats his mother is the way he should treat you. So if you love your mother and you cherish her, you go right ahead. Do
mm,
it because I respect that. I
yeah,
respect a man that really puts his mother as a queen. You go ahead. You only get one mother. You can get a lot of girlfriends, but you only get one mother. So
yeah. As long as he ain't sucking on the teat the same way he's supposed to be sucking on his girlfriend's teat. Some people just
ah,
don't quite ever get
yeah.
off that.
That's
I
I was gonna
understand
say
that.
that's where some dudes
That's
get it a
true.
little.
Yeah, I
They
understand
some
that.
dudes have that Oedipus, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Where they treat their like they're not even the queen as they're not treating their moms like queens like they should be. Like they're yeah treating
you,
they're
you'll never
treating their
replace love.
girlfriends how they treat their mothers.
Yeah, yeah,
Because your mother is gonna love you unconditionally. You can do whatever to your you shouldn't, but
yeah,
you can do whatever to your mother, and she's still gonna cook you a meal.
yeah.
She's still gonna
Or
ask you if you're okay.
or not treating the girlfriend like they treat their mother, treating her like the mother like the queen, but not giving that same respect to her.
Right, right.
There's
That too.
those types too. Remember what was it? Maybe it was a week or two ago, and we played that clip from the Smothered show. Remember those women that was like very very close to their
Oh
mothers,
yes, yes. Or was
taking
that
baths
last
with
week?
them and
Yeah,
stuff
the
like
women
that.
that were. Oh,
Yeah, that was a little
because
weird to
see,
talk
I
about.
treat my mom like I love my mom, but I
You
would
should.
say my older brother is the mother's boy. I'm the youngest, so like I if I were in that scenario, I'm going to politely ask my mother, "Mom, can my girlfriend ride up front?" I don't think I would have to ask. I know that my mother would allow that. I know that she respects me enough as a man to allow my woman to sit next to me. To say, "Well, no, she can sit up front. That's fine." Nah, 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 nah. But if that were the case, if I truly wanted my woman up front with me, if it was that important to me, I'm yeah. The you don't want. I get what you're saying, Red. You don't want to be the kind of guy that is fiercely defensive of his mother and not so of his woman in turn,
Right.
especially if it's your mother that attacks your woman sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
That happens.
Yeah.
We all know about the mother-in-law from hell. Like that's a classic stereotype.
Right. That's there for a reason. Definitely.
Meet the Fockers and shit.
Okay.
That was bad. Never
All right. Does anybody else have any bro code, girl codes they want to talk about? See if it's fair on either side.
You mentioned the hug. We
Yeah.
didn't talk about that.
Yeah. Or the long
the
embrace,
tap.
like it's so
Embrace
good to see you, my
the little shake with it.
best friend.
Where your middle's not touching, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like you real close up top, but down below it's a
The,
triangle. You know
the,
what I'm
the,
saying?
the
Yo,
hold, and you rub the back too.
Oh
mhm.
no. And you can feel what their heart rate is until they're so close to the chest. No, that's too much.
You
Much.
got to do the side hug, the little
Yeah,
church hug.
yeah,
The
right.
from the side.
Good, good,
Yes.
good, good.
Yeah.
I had a friend, she didn't like the way her husband approached one of her girlfriends. He she said you should have leaned, like stuck your butt out and gave her
Ah.
that. Instead,
See, the way she said
he
it, he
held
not
her
gonna do it.
right, and she didn't like it, and she brought it to his attention because even the girlfriend was like, "Whoa!" Like she was expecting him to lean, but he brought her close, and she didn't
No,
like
no,
it.
no. You come close, man. What you doing all far away for?
She put it on. What up, son?
Squeeze. Knocking the ass after that. No, 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 no,
Man,
no,
stop
no.
hugging people. How about
So
man, we can't hug.
she definitely mentioned that when we were talking,
Pound.
that she had to step to, pull him to the side. Don't you ever hug my friend like that again. You lean to her, and half of your body should be away from her. So I was like, well, I guess that's how you should do it.
Did she address it right there on the spot? Or did she wait to later on to pull him to the side?
She waited and pulled him to the side, but her friend looked at her. She said her friend looked at her like, what? What is all this? Like, hey, like,
Was her friend butt out?
She started off that way.
It started off that way, but when he grabbed her, it's like
he pulled her in.
So
Okay,
she, out of respect for her friend, she was like, "Whoa!" And so I asked my friend Karen. I said, "Well, what did you do?" She said, "I waited because I didn't want to make a scene, but I pulled him aside. So don't you ever hug any of my friends like that again. You should have been, your half of your body should have been leaned out, or she should have just been like that with you." So he apologized because he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know I did that." She said, "Don't you ever do that," because she felt it was a disrespect to her. So, no, I
Why
don't
is
think
he
you
hugging her
should.
friends? I'm sorry. Like, are him and her like?
Well,
I'm
they
interested.
knew, they was all. I guess they were all meeting up,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody. You see everybody. Hey, how you doing? But he hugged her. I guess. I mean, they know each other. They all work on the
Because I'm
same.
gonna be honest, I don't think I've ever hugged any of my girl, like, unless they were my friend as well. Like,
Yeah,
you
okay.
know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't know. He didn't think. He just said, "Hey, what's going on?" But she didn't think it was. She said it was
and
just.
yeah, if it's just hey going on, nigga, one arm.
Right,
She
right.
said,
Like, hey, what's that?
so I asked her,
Yes,
"So how was
it
the
works.
night after that?" And she was like, She was like, ugh. She was pissed, but
I would say do it like you were at a business meeting and there's another woman there that you don't know. You don't like go and hug somebody at a job or a meeting. You just probably politely shake their hand or whatever.
Or,
Hi,
hey,
how you
how are you
doing?
doing? Yeah.
Nice to see you. Haven't seen you in a
We don't even
while.
have to embrace for real.
Right.
Like what? Because again, like, what is the reason we're embracing? Like, do we miss each other that much, or
Right.
like, is it? Like,
What
I
she
hug
mystery
my.
to
didn't
me?
go into details how long they haven't seen each other. She just, I know we were talking about it, and I'm glad you brought that up. But and she just mentioned, she asked us, how would we feel? And I said, well, I don't think he should have hugged her. He just
I
gave her.
would feel like, did you know her beforehand, or
Well,
did
they
like?
knew each other for years.
Oh,
Oh, okay. They were friends before.
Oh
it
yeah,
is-
they knew each other for many
okay.
years, but it's
But she was also that's also her friend.
Mm.
it's really her friend.
Oh, okay. They,
Okay,
were-
so
they, they were
she's a
both
friend of both.
friends.
Karen and
She ended up dating him.
yeah, no, it was her
But,
husband.
oh, her husband. Okay. Now, okay.
Her husband did the hug.
Okay.
So she said,
So that
So
might
had
not
her
be a.
husband hugged any of her other friends that way, or was this something she just noticed this time? Like it just happened and had
You
happened that way
thinking something?
before.
what
Because
is
it would make me wonder why all of a sudden is he hugging her. If I've never had this problem with him before, and that's my husband, you know what I'm saying? He know. So what? Why all of a sudden you hug your homegirl like that? I mean, I would have shot
And
my
why
antennas up
that
too.
home girl?
I don't
You know.
remember this happened like 3 years ago. I don't remember we was
Check
in
on
at,
her.
The
at
ins and outs.
lunch. Yeah, we were talking about it. I don't remember what she said. She just asked me how would we feel if our mate did that, and I was like, well, I wouldn't like it. So I asked her, what did you do? And she said, I just put him to the side. And I said, don't do that. But
Yeah,
she
because
didn't go
hearing
into
it, I
details
don't
if
think you
he
should do it.
actually do that to everybody. I think it was just that event. I don't know.
What was his
But that's
response?
something Sparky. That's true. Does he do that normally to everybody, or was this
Right.
in person? Right.
What
Right.
was his
Because then it's
response?
like,
She
What,
didn't go
what,
into details. She just said I didn't like it.
She
what
might not have
did
We
she
were
tell you
talking
what
about
his response was to that?
he apologized. She
Oh,
said he
okay.
apologized. He said, "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize I did it like that." She was like, Don't do that to my
As
friend.
long as there's apology and change behavior,
Yeah,
you know,
but she probably
we'll check
yeah,
back
she
on
had
this
to
in a
be
couple of
pissed.
weeks.
Yeah, she had to be pissed because she brought it up at
Test
our
it
lunch.
out.
Yeah,
Bring
so it
another
bothered
friend.
her. Yeah, she brought it up at the luncheon. So I was like,
I,
Different friend come up like, all
you know
right,
what?
nice to see you.
I have something to say.
yeah.
May
I
I
do not like
please
the
touch
way
your
I was
finger?
approached earlier
Right.
by someone here, not saying any names.
Yeah, but you have to be careful with certain things you do anyway, because all these people with sexual harassment. What if
You
she
do.
would have took
You
it
do.
the wrong way? Like, what it?
Mm-hmm.
What if she was a victim of it beforehand? So yeah, she could be sensitive to move or touch and move sensitive to embrace like that, and that was too
Right.
much for her to deal with.
Well, that changes
What
the
if,
dynamic just a little bit because you said they were friends years before that. So I'm thinking, they were hugging like this before they became a couple and married.
But we don't
Things
know the
never
nature
stopped.
of that
No, but
friendship,
she
so
said her friend was like this.
Okay. Oh, okay. It just so yeah.
Like
Okay.
it was just like she was like, okay. So I don't
Hmm.
know. That's not. That's the way she's. Yeah.
Mm.
That's why I said, I don't
Yeah.
know. She just had to. Good thing she checked it. That's all.
yeah,
Don't let something like that slide.
Right.
yeah.
Because he may think it's innocent, but not to the person he's doing it to, or not to his partner.
Hmm.
and it could be misconstrued. Like, he could have
Mhm.
been doing it as, just as a regular hug and didn't think much about it. But if the chick is not really your friend, you know what I'm saying? She might take it as something else. Then before you know, she responded in a way that's inappropriate because she thought he was coming away and that wasn't his intent. And it could just be a whole lot.
And let's be honest, like
Her
as a
husband,
woman,
he's a nice.
like
Her husband's a nice guy. I really
Mm.
personally don't think he did it in to do.
Malice. Yeah.
No, no, not this guy. No.
it could have also been a situation of the homegirl, wanting to signify to her other homegirl that you see how close your man is hugging me. This ain't me. This ain't I ain't on your man like that. I could see that being a reason of why she would give her that
Let me
look
do
as to
that.
say like, look at how close your man is to me,
Mm-hmm.
because maybe she's been in situations where she's been that friend that's always getting accused of home wrecking and shit, or
Let me
maybe
ask.
stupid.
Let me ask another question then. Okay. What if the guy that you just met, you're dating, let's say for a year, and he had this female best friend, which kind of doesn't exist in the male world, but let's just pretend it does.
It is. I got like mad best friends.
Oh,
I got mad best friends.
Um,
we
let
gotta have a show about that.
Literally, I was like,
It is.
while we were in the check-in, I was hosting and entertaining my homegirl Asia and her daughter
hmm
with my girlfriend as well.
Okay. So
We
okay,
used to
let's
gather on Sundays to watch P Valley all together as a family.
P Valley. Oh, but okay,
Yep.
they
As a family?
guy has right.
Not her daughter. Not her.
Well, you,
Albeit,
you you just mentioned the daughter was there too. That's like, as a family, that's what y'all
her,
do.
her her daughter her daughter was just here with
Uh,
her tonight. But
clarify that before we go
on
any
on
further.
Yes,
on
please,
Sunday
please.
nights, on the Lord's night, on the Sabbath night, as adults,
Watching
we
P Valley.
gather as adults to watch a TV show about strip clubs and gay bars.
Right.
Right. Amen.
Okay. But okay, so yeah, what was saying the,
I threw you
the
off.
guy has a friend. Is the female happens to be kind of like a best friend. They've known each other since high school, and then you come into the picture, and they used to talk and hang out and go and stuff like that. Does that cut off now? They can no longer can they talk on the phone
Mm.
late into the night? Can they go hang out at strip club? Can they go watch P Valley on Sunday nights at each other's house without you? Is that cut off? Is there what limit is there that they can still have communication with each other without
I
you there?
I had this on my episode. Can male and females be friends? And
I don't think so. For the most part,
there's always one that wants a little more.
right?
You
It
can
might
be
be
honest.
the
There's a
man.
lot more than one.
Might
You
be the
can.
man. I don't know. I mean, I don't see why they can't be friends. But you talking about what? Hanging out at the strip club and he's at her house at night?
Movies,
We're not open.
dinner,
No.
Okay.
Starbucks.
Those are
Let me
dates.
tell you
Those are
something.
dates.
Whatever you did when you were single, that's what you did when you were single. You in a relationship now. You gotta have some respect. Would you want me to do it? I got a homeboy. We want to watch P Valley together. I ain't coming home till about 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. You
Down in the
better take
valley
that.
where the
And
girls
you know
get
why that
rowdy.
wouldn't work? Because I'm gonna think because there's no way they can be friends. On the
Oh,
guys' end, the
so you don't
girls
think
end
male and
maybe.
females can't be friends?
Girls, I think maybe.
Women are more capable of sustaining. Women
Yeah,
actually want platonic relationships with
Right.
men. They
yeah,
actually seek it.
I agree.
That's what's crazy about it. It's really just it. It's really just the
We
other
just built
side.
differently.
Uh,
We just built differently. It's the same reason why you don't go over to a guy's house at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning and spend just to watch
So
TV.
I wouldn't want him to be going to her house watching no P Valley.
I wouldn't want him going over there watching
Well, I
TV.
wouldn't want him watching Peak Valley, period. But that's a whole.
it's a
Exactly.
very riveting show. You gotta give it a shot.
That show's great.
It ain't. I'm not saying it's not riveting, but from what I saw, just the beginning. You know what I'm saying? I
Just the intro.
personally wasn't trying to see nobody with their hamburger meat out. Yeah,
Hamburger
I'm
meat.
saying a
I've watched
full
Game of Thrones.
mustache, a full mustache,
Oh,
whatever hair
Yeah, it
and a
goes down. It
sheer
goes down in
robe
the valley.
on. You know what I'm saying? And he got
It
his
goes down.
that's just not what I
It's
mm.
want
not
to
something
see. So
everybody can watch. Nah,
I don't subject myself to it. So I don't watch it. But I ain't tripping on nobody else that does watch it. I just personally don't. And it's a trip to me often, and I talk to my homeboys about this. Men that be so, no homo, they not gay, this, and this, but they sit around and watch episode after episode of a bunch of gay shit. So I don't understand it, but I'd be like, all right, to each
they
his
have
own. Watch what you
hostility.
want to
That
watch.
that could be a whole episode or a topic in its own. Just the hostility that some men have towards homosexual culture because when you actually start looking at street culture, there's gay overtones in it. Like if you're walking around sagging in 2022, understand that comes from prison, and that means that you're someone's girlfriend. But
I mean,
still, you see niggas out here in skinny jeans,
Skinny
and
jeans and
skinny
saggy.
jeans sagging
I
with
don't know
no
how that's
belt on. Put
possible.
a belt on. Put a belt on your pants. I'm sorry. I sound like Bill Cosby that one time.
You sound like a father right now. You are
I have
ready.
no children.
You're
I
ready
have
for
none.
him. I'm telling
I'm
you, you're
I
ready.
have, no.
Start tonight.
3-0.
When we get off the show, you start tonight.
Already started. We're we're looking at a Scorpio baby.
All right now. All right. Okay, guys. So, all right, we're going to draw that one to a conclusion. Preezy, I'm gonna ask you now if you want to stop on that point and go on with the night and get ready for the next episode of P Valley. Get ready to set up on your DVR and leave for the night. You're fine, or you can stay for the rest of the show. You can stay for the next topic we got
Season's over.
coming up. That's up to you. We're going to talk about Kanye and his White Lives Matter T-shirt next.
Oh, there you go. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, there
Was
goes
that
my
real?
take.
That was real?
Yeah, that was real. It had a whole
You
purpose
thought that was
behind
for
it.
play
Yeah, there was a whole purpose behind it.
with Candace Owens as well.
Yeah, yeah.
So you had
That's
a
what.
T-shirt that said "White Lives Matter."
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Mm.
At some, I don't know, modeling
He
clothing.
wore
it
it.
was
He
a
wore it
fashion.
in Paris. Yeah, it was at his Paris fashion show. Every time they have a new line coming out, so they
Correct.
was
And
having
he
the
and he
lot.
just said it on Instagram that he literally only did it
There you go.
to get attention for this fashion show, not
Yeah,
because
it
of
was
a
for the fashion
political
show.
agenda, not because of him, like literally just to get it because he knew as a black man wearing a shirt that says "White Lives Matter." We would
Oh,
pay
and
attention.
it was a little bit of a deeper meaning behind it.
Oh, there is, and we'll get into.
Yeah, yeah. We're gonna play a video on that too. But if you want to stay, that's fine. That's the next thing we're gonna talk about. You good? You want to stay?
I'll stay.
She'll stay. Okay. So all right then. So we're gonna go next into White Lives Matter. Why did Kanye West
Disclaimer.
and Candace Owens wear this shirt? So Candace Owens, I don't know if y'all got to see. She made a whole video about it. About a 12-minute video. I kind of edited a little bit because there was some unimportant stuff she said in between. But there's a video where she explains why she wore the shirt, and I figured there was a reason why she's trying to get attention because Kanye is kind of the king of that, where he'll wear outlandish things or say outlandish things just to draw attention to him. Sometimes it's for to sell a shirt, sometimes it's for album sales. Seems like he was doing this to talk about a narrative about Black Lives Matter, which I will play once I get to this video and I can pull it up. Let's see where we got it at in here.
Or Kanye.
So you gonna piss on my foot and tell me it's raining?
He about to. Well, Candace is about to piss on your foot.
You know what? She been pissing on my foot.
Lives matter, and God forbid you wear a T-shirt that says "White Lives Matter." We wore this for his Yeezy Season 9 fashion show here in Paris, and people are upset. They're very upset about that. They're going, why on earth? How could you? How dare you wear this shirt? How dare you make a mockery of the BLM movement? In addition to this, in case you missed it on Kanye West's Instagram page, he wrote this: everyone knows that Black Lives Matter was a scam. Now it's over. You're welcome. That is the only response or the only thing that he has said publicly about wearing the T-shirt. And you obviously know, if you're watching this, where I stand on the Black Lives Matter movement. In fact, I'm doing an entire documentary to expose the fraudulent nature of that movement and the organization that stood behind it and benefited billions and billions of dollars because they elicited Black grief. They sold Black people a concept of their oppression. They used poorer Black Americans as a marketing firm for their organization. And where did that money go? Well, certainly not to Black America. And these people who claimed to be leaders and knew that what they were doing was further dividing the masses. I mean, the whole idea here via the Black Lives Matter movement was to make sure that Black people saw oppression and saw white supremacy surrounding them, and convincing them that if they leaned into this narrative, that somehow their lives would be better. It was a mirage. Actually, that's a word that Ye used during the breakfast too. It was basically a mirage, right? This idea that somehow all we needed to do was burn down our own neighborhoods. All we needed to do was have our youth wearing a George Floyd t-shirt. All we needed to do was loot Targets and loot these expensive stores, and somehow justice would be delivered. And of course it wasn't. There is a deep irony and a sad irony when you consider that wearing a t-shirt has led such a tremor throughout the world, right? A t-shirt that says White Lives Matter, which should be implied, right? White Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter, Asian Lives Matter, it should be implied. Yet people are angry and they are being vicious online because they can't believe that we have the audacity to detract from the movement, which is a lie, right? Black Lives Matter. If Black Lives Matter, then some of these things that we have been talking about on this show, things I've been talking about throughout my entire political career, would be getting attention, not the t-shirt, right? Not the t-shirt, but these actual statistics that matter. And here are just a few of them. 117,626 Black children were killed by surgical abortion in the United States in 2018, right? Those are recent statistics. Just so we are clear, abortion in America has contributed to the greatest decline in Black population since the first Black slaves arrived. You will hear people often talk about lynching. This is like a new thing. They like neoliberalism. They could talk about lynching and they compare everything to lynchings. It's just like being lynched. Well, for your reference, you should know that 4,467 people in the United States were victims of lynchings from 1883 to 1941. 3,265 of those people were Black. And you keep talking about lynching as this horrific thing that's happened in the past, right? And yet when you say to people today that 20 million Black infants were aborted, they don't even blink an eye. They don't even bat an eyelash. No, less than batting an eyelash. They tell those same Black people that they need to be outraged when a Planned Parenthood clinic shuts down. 20 million. When you talk about people that are killed in the millions, when you talk about the Jewish Holocaust, when you talk about the Rwandan Holocaust, people are, oh my gosh, oh my, this is horrible. Of course, because it is horrible. But for whatever reason, since we have convinced ourselves to genocide our own offspring, nobody cares. Nobody cares. They don't bat an eyelash. In fact, they tell you that it is your right. In 2012, more Black babies were killed by abortion in New York City than were born. Imagine that, your abortion rate being higher than your live birth rate in a city. And they celebrate it. Do you remember notoriously the governor lit up the city pink when they talked about expanding abortion rights, expanding the Black genocide? Light up the skyscrapers pink. It is a win. A win for who, though, is the question. A win for who? 79% of Planned Parenthood abortion facilities are located within walking distance of neighborhoods that have a higher proportion of Latina and Black women. But that's not the only thing that's killing Black America, literally. If we represent 40% of all homicide offenders, it doesn't matter because we didn't put it in a Black Lives Matter T. That 74% of Black boys in California can't pass a basic reading exam. You know why? Because we love ignorance. We should celebrate ignorance, right? Who cares that across 5 schools in an inner city like Baltimore, they couldn't find a single child that was proficient in reading and in writing? Who cares? Who cares that 3 out of 4 Black boys in California schools cannot meet writing standards? Who cares? It's not in a White Lives Matter t-shirt, so we won't talk about the fact that nearly 80% of Black boys in the 4th grade failed to meet state reading standards. We also know obesity is killing Black America. I wish, you know what we should have done? We should have put a White Lives Matter t-shirt on Lizzo. Maybe we could have gotten a lot of attention about obesity and how it's actually killing Black Americans. Obesity is the #1 killer in America. Okay, I know Black Lives Matter told you it was police shootings, right? It made you think that thousands of Black men were dying at the hands of police. No, absolutely not. I think in the year 2020, was it 9 unarmed Black men were killed by police? 9 of them. But obesity is killing people at a very high rate, and Black women have the highest rates of obesity. So the #1 killer, and of course, we sit at the top of it. Black women, 56.9% of us are classified as obese. We shouldn't talk about that. You know why? Because it didn't have a t-shirt on it that said White Lives Matter. You talk about criminality. No one wants to talk about it if you're not talking about a police officer, right? People don't want to talk about the fact that Black people are slaughtering other Black people. People don't want to talk about Black on Black crime. It doesn't matter because we're doing it to ourselves, right? Just like we're aborting our own babies. Applaud it. Applaud it. In fact, put it in the music. Put the criminality in the music and celebrate it. Give it a Grammy. Give Black criminality a Grammy so that we understand that this is ours. Sit in the cool club, right? Now we know what it means to be Black. Now we know what it means to not be a traitor to your own race. Murder your own race. And if you don't do it in your womb, grab a gun. Kill the guy next to you. Applause all around the world. Per the CDC, African Americans are 4 times more likely to be killed by a gun than the overall population. And once again, it's not a white person that is pulling the trigger. It's another Black person. We account for almost 40% of all of the homicide offenders in the United States. 40% coming from the smallest piece of the population. We're talking about, 7% of the population is Black men, and they're accounting for 40% of all of the homicides in the United States. But let's not talk about that. In fact, let's call that racist to even acknowledge that truth. To talk about the ills in our own community, that's racism. Let's just move on for it. People love to talk about the incarceration rates, right? Because the incarceration rates allow you to understand the result without ever having to talk about the problem, right? You don't have to talk about the equation. I'll just give you the answer. Black men are incarcerated, right? It says here that there are nearly 5 times the rate of Black men in prison than white people. Oh, perfect narrative. It must be racism. No, it has nothing to do with the fact that we're the most murderous group in America. It has nothing to do with that. Of course, 1 + 1 = 2, but let's focus on the 2 and not the 1 + 1. Let's focus on everything except for the fact that we also know that these individuals that are ending up in prison, or these individuals that are ending up killed, or these infants that are being taken out of their mother's own womb, they're all coming from broken families. Families that have been strategically broken down in a culture that further promotes the breakdown of family, that corrodes the value of women, that corrodes the value of men. But hey, that wasn't wearing a White Lives Matter t-shirt. So who cares? Who cares? Who cares if 20 million Black babies are dead? Who cares if half of our Black men are locked up? Who cares if Black women, half of them are clinically obese and spelling out their own death sentences? Who cares? The problem is not what's happening inside the households or what's happening on the streets or the slaughtering that's taken place. The problem is not the women that have been trained to kill their own offspring, not to raise their sons, the men that are on the streets killing one another and putting out music that encourages their offspring to do the same. The real problem in Black America is that Kanye and Candace put on a White Lives Matter t-shirt. So let's focus on that instead. And that's all I have to say about that.
Okay, Candace had a bit of a mouthful to say on that. So it seems like, it's just me guessing, the reason why they wore their shirt was to create controversy and was to get people to talk about Black lives and what is going on amongst our community. And now I want to ask you guys, do you think she's right with what she said? Do you think she overstated with some of the things she said? Do you think she was wrong with how she tried to bring the topic up? What do you think about this 10-minute video that Candace Owens brought up about Black Lives Matter, or the state of Black lives right now? And I'll let you go first. Oh, okay. I thought you were frozen, LT. I'll let you go first on this.
I'm
LT.
frozen in anger.
I'll give you 2 minutes to speak on it first, and free for all once we're done with everybody's first initial statement.
Are you ready? Go!
I've been in toxic relationships in my life, and I have nothing but the utmost respect for every woman on this planet. I've never wanted to punch a human being more than just like sitting here and watching her. Like, because I've never seen someone that unlike maybe an Uncle Ruckus from the Boondocks, I've never seen a person that wanted me to hate myself more. Like, just the way she called Black men the most murderous group of Black people, the most murderous group of people in this country. This country was founded by slaughtering Native Americans, by white people who have literally been slaughtering each other and all of us for years. How do you mention lynchings and then call us murderous? And it's like the way she spoke, it's like she separates her. I don't like that she was saying our Black men, as if she claims Black men, as if she likes Black men. Because I noticed when she would refer to Black women, she would say them. This is what Black women are doing. Are you not a Black woman? Is this what you were doing? Like, you're saying obesity is a problem, Candace. You're not obese. Like, whose problem is this actually? It's like they really put on these White Lives Matter t-shirts to get attention, to attack us, to attack their own people. For and what's crazy about this, Kanye West loves to say that the Democrats are using my friends against me. Hillary Clinton is using my friend. This really seems like the Republicans are using you against everyone else, because you really just got on here to you wore White Lives Matter shirts to expose Black Lives Matter. We know the organization is fraud. We understand that, just like we know that religion is fraudulent. Your pastor can cheat on his wife. but you still love Jesus, right? So we know that the organization of Black Lives Matter is fraudulent, but the movement, the things that it means, what it represents, actually means something. And for them to do that is asinine. You know what? To quote Obama, they're both jackasses. And if I catch them in the streets, it's on.
I don't know that last part. I don't know if he said that
Yeah,
last part.
Obama said it.
They muted that part.
I'm just quoting the president,
Uh,
former president, my president.
Preezy, I'll let you go next on this one. What do you think about the clip where Candace Owens spoke on the state of Black Lives Matter?
Are you ready? Go!
It was deep. Um, a lot of stuff she said, my opinion, it was true. Um, we are out here killing each other, okay? And wow, maybe they were wearing that shirt to their statement was that black people are not cared for as much as white people are. Maybe that's why they wore White Lives Matter, because our community, when it comes to certain illnesses like diabetes and different things like that, the ratio for blacks is higher than a lot of nationalities. You know, it could be a catch-22 why they wore that. It could have been sarcastic. It's Kanye be doing some crazy stuff, so it's it's hard to really understand him sometimes. But sometimes his message might seem a little weird to us, but I think it was sarcastic. After all the things that she read, it could have been like, people don't respect the black community like they respect the white community. It could have been something like that. I don't know. She had a lot of stuff on there. it's the first time me hearing this. It was deep.
Okay.
It's deep. I'm a
All
little
right.
wishy-washy about it.
It didn't make you feel good. You know that. You can feel it.
Yeah,
Like
but
you agreeing with it. And
some of
I
it
don't
was
like I
some of it
agree
was
with you.
true with the black community.
We do.
Killing each other.
It's not she was not wrong, but it's like she was using I mean, we can get into it when everyone I'm sorry. Sparky to you guys.
And why are they saying that the Black Lives Movement was false? Like, why are they saying that? I don't.
Oh, because the founder, or yeah, I'm guessing the founder, he
Yeah.
did steal millions of dollars,
Well, it's
not
three of them.
billions,
Yeah.
What
not billions.
organization not stealing?
Yeah.
My point, like, wasn't
We'll
someone
get
just
into
about
that.
to steal Yeezy away from? Wasn't Adidas and Old Navy about to? Didn't they just take Kanye shit from him?
Yeah.
Oh, but they had a legal document, so it's not stealing; it's commandeering.
All right. Let's Sparky go right quick. Let's get our things out. We'll come back to it. Sparky, what did you think about that 10-minute clip?
Are you ready? Go!
It took a lot to sit there and even listen to the whole clip. I do believe that some of the statistics, and I'm sure she didn't fact checked and all that, so I'm sure the statistics that she was quoting were probably right or proper. I still don't think that you had to wear a White Lives Matter T-shirt to bring, attention to what it is that you're saying that we have issues with within our community. We do have issues. Every community has issues. But of course, it seems like ours are always broadcast so much louder, or there's so much more light shined on. Or, we were brought over here to this country against our own free will. And this many years later, we still can't do no damn right. It's like no matter what we do, it's always something wrong in it. Even when we're doing something right, somebody can always find the negative or make sure that they try to shine the light on the negative part. We know obesity is a problem. We know that, black on black crime is a problem. We know these things, but to take a platform and almost dog us for 10 minutes, You know, and even though you speak in truth, and I understand at times truth hurt, sometimes it's in the way that you say it. You ain't got to present me no facts on a garbage can lid, and that's what you did. You didn't bring it to me on a plate and serve it to me on a platter. You brought me that shit on a garbage can lid. It's all in the presentation. Like I get it. We understand that we have problems, but people like her sometimes are our problems too. You know, don't have me walking away hating myself as a people. Don't have put something out there that a kid can listen to and then turn around and be like, why do they want to be black? All these negative things that you said, and I understand that was the purpose of it, you know, but you didn't have to go, you didn't have to do all of that. And to wear a White Lives Matter t-shirt is just, it's asinine. We know that Kanye could spit and get attention. Kanye could say anything and get attention. You didn't have to wear a White Lives Matter t-shirt to get attention to the issues that you're trying to talk about. You just did. It was a slap in the face to me. It was a slap in the face to me. As a black woman, you ain't have to do that. You ain't have to do that. He has too much clout. You have to put too many people are watching you and constantly looking at you. Every little thing you do means something. And you didn't have to wear the White Lives t-shirt matters thing. And I agree, their lives do matter. All people's lives matter. You ain't have to wear that damn shirt, bro.
Okay. All right. Let me speak on it right quick.
Are you ready? Go!
I think the reason why they wore it is the same reason why I think there's people like Muhammad Ali used to talk the way he talks to get people to get interested in the fight. Yeah, he could have talked about how he was going to beat somebody's behind, but he did it in his own style that got people interested. Same thing that wrestling does, same thing that people do in boxing now. They, act like they really hate each other, and then when after the fight ends, they end up hugging each other. I think the shirt was to get people to like, what could you do to sound so controversial that now people are going to pay attention to you? Because I don't think normally people, at least black people, were going to go and tune in to Candace Owens and listen to what she had to say on this video. I wanted to see what in the world what the shirt was about. And I think that's what it was. It's just to draw attention. I don't think they believed in that shirt per se, but I think it was to draw attention. What she had to say, a lot of it was deep. And I believe in a lot of what she says. But here's what I'm going to say. With Black Lives Matter, and LT touched on a little bit there about the group per se may not be righteous. The message, yes, Black Lives Matter, but here's where I think we might separate. Does Black Lives matter enough to us? Because at some point we got to understand us has to take care of us. It's not going to matter to white people like it is supposed to matter to us. We can't, keep saying we're waiting on you're waiting on y'all to give us reparations, waiting on y'all to form some sort of program to help us, elevate us, whatever. At some point, we're going to have to do it on our own because they're not going to help us the way we need to be helped. When she spoke on things such as obesity, we have a culture where we kind of champion obesity. We're like, the thicker you are, the better you are. But yet, heart disease is one of the number one killers of us. We champion that. Do we care about us? We can't blame it on them. We have to at some point get accountability for us. Yes, there are police shootings, and I do think it's unfairly done to us. But is that the thing that is really killing us the most? I think there was like 140. I might have the statistics totally wrong. I think there was like 145 police killings between 2016 and 2020 versus there being over 7,000 of murders happening in the street. Which one's really affecting us the most? Yeah, we can look into the police matters. That should be rectified. We should not be just killed in the street just because of the color of our skin. It should not be warranted just because we're black. Is that the biggest issue among us? I feel like that's what she's trying to say. And we do champion music that talks about killing each other. We do champion that. We'll give somebody a Grammy for rapping and spitting the best verse about killing somebody. That is true. We're we talk about all these rappers that get killed in the street every year. I don't even hardly know who they are because they don't have long enough time to even build a buzz. We had like two in the 90s. We had Biggie and Pac. That's about it. And they, I won't say lived long enough because they both died at 24 and 25, but they had a big enough career that we knew who they were, and we actually got a chance to care for who they were when they actually died. It was a big deal. But it
Tupac
seems
had
like,
5 albums at the time of his death,
right. But it
and
seems like
7
it's getting
after
to a
that.
point now where I barely know these. When somebody dies, I'm like, who?
Right. Who is
I
that?
don't know who they are, and I have to go look them up, and I'm like, oh, that's who they are. I'm like, they made a couple hits here and there, but it's like I don't even blink an eye.
Mhm.
That's sad.
It is sad, but look at the way she gave us that information. Does that make you want to love yourself and treat you? You're right. The obesity and diabetes are some of the top killers in the Black community.
Mhm.
Guess what? How what you eat and how you eat pay or that has effect on your body. In our community, we don't have access to the best foods. And these people Candace Owens can say this. Kanye West can say this. Let's be y'all are rich. You have access to better food. We are not like if you I've been on my health journey. I've been on my spiritual journey. So I've been getting holistic, super vegetables, nothing but motherfucking water and some wine. One glass of wine is good. As long as it's bitter. It's got to be very bitter. But yeah, like just the farmers markets and getting fresh vegetables and fresh fruit aren't things that are common in predominantly Black areas. And this is something that stems from how we were kept as slaves in this country. We were given the scraps, we were given things that were meant to deteriorate our bodies. Like we can't act like we're not and for Kanye to be a
You're right.
person that used to champion how there is a system set up to destroy us, and not only to destroy us, but to help us destroy ourselves. For him to know that, for you to talk about people that make music to that that glorify this kind of thing. Like you want us to see the nuance in this white on or this white lives matter shirt. You can't see the nuance in Jay-Z being remorseful for poisoning his community, which he said many a times.
Mm.
Like how come that can't be how he's trying to save the community? You're shitting on because again, these are people that Kanye has accused of the Democrats using to turn against him and shit. Where Jay-Z goes to his music and says, "No red hat, don't Michael and Prince mean yay." They separate you when you got Michael and Prince's DNA. I ain't one of these house niggas you bought. My house like a resort. My house bigger than yours. My spouse. Come on, man. Bars. But I say all of that to say
Mhm.
this like the statistics they were throwing at us were very Republican. They were very conservative. You're throwing things at me. And again, if you want me to love myself better, treat myself better, give me my truth. Let me as a Black person discover like, teach me my history. Maybe implement that in the class. Teach me what is a Black, because I have different genetics than white people. I have a different history than white people. But we send our children to these schools. Like I was walking by a Christian school and a Catholic school on just, my daily walk today, because you should be getting sunlight. You should be walking. Your body should be active. These are things we need. Like we can't act like we don't live in a society, especially in America, that isn't tailored to dull our senses, to make us lazy and fat and obese, to make us just constant consumers to the things they want to sell us. Because this shirt might have been a publicity stunt, it's also for sale. It's also something that's been monetized
Mhm.
that he can profit off of, like his sneakers, like his music that he has constantly said, I don't like making music anymore because I don't make enough money off of that. And we've been seeing him do more and more bullshit to kind of to kiss the ass of white people a little bit, to kiss the ass of the Republicans that he was gussying up with. I'm not going to let him forget that you called Donald Trump the father you never had.
We can say all that, but okay, yeah, you make some poignant points, and you're right. There are certain points. There are certain things
Because
in
again,
this
what
country.
Sparky
I
said,
do
I'm sorry to
think
cut you off,
that
but why white lives matter? Why is that the term? Why not put everything that he said in those breakfasts on the shirt? We need stop killing each other. Make a song about stop killing each other. Put stop killing each other on the sneakers.
mm-hmm.
But you chose white lives matter.
I don't
Why
think they
white
would
lives?
listen.
Because last week you was yelling about your Black daughters being turned into prostitutes
Yeah,
by
I
your
will agree
white
with you that
baby mama.
He does use that, I think, a lot
He
of times.
uses black. He
He does.
galvanizes black men.
I will
I
agree
think
with you with that.
Kanye is sick. I really think something's wrong with
He's
him.
bipolar. We know that,
Yeah,
but
I
he's
think.
also
Yeah.
sick. Yeah.
But I get tired of people always talking about what black people do and stuff. The white man, I'm trying to pull a race card, but they have done things from the
They want to be
beginning of
oppressed so
time. The
bad.
slave trade and all of that. People
The
need to
rape
read their
of my
black
people,
history, the stuff they've done to the Indians, the stuff. So they really need to stop with coming at black people so much.
Jim Crow,
Because
like
yes, because if you
segregation.
do your
Goddamn,
read
y'all
your
murdered
black
Martin Luther King.
history, white people have
God.
been doing stuff and they still doing stuff. So stop talking about what we doing. It's just that you don't
What are we,
hear what they
but
do.
what are we going to do, guys? Because as I was mentioning earlier, if they're not going to change, white people. If you're saying they've done this over centuries or whatever, they're not going to change. So who's it left to? We gonna have to do something. We can't
It ain't
keep
left to Kanye
saying
West. He
they're
can't sell
not
none of
doing
those.
anything for us. We're gonna have to make that change. And I know other immigrants don't have the same history as us. I know Hispanics don't. Well, yeah, they do. They kind of have the same Puerto Ricans or whatever. People down in South America,
Hispanics notoriously vote Republican.
right?
I don't get
But
it, but they do.
Italians, the Chinese, Asian Americans, they don't have the same history of being brought over here with us, but they've had to pull themselves up when it was just their community. I know we have a little bit more nuances than them. I get that, but at some point, where are
White
we
people don't see them
going
as a threat.
accountability? Where are we going to change anything? Because we can't keep saying the white man, white man, white man, white man. What are we going to do? If
People
they're
have
not going to do anything for us, what are we going to do? Because at some point, we had people who were married more after slavery. We had people black people who had businesses and we were, getting money hand and foot back into the black community. We had that. This was
And then they bombed us. Like they
that was one
literally
place though.
bombed our like Black Wall Street. They bombed our most wealthy community ever. It was
That was
solely
one
owned by
place
black
though.
people. That was
We're
one.
talking about, that was
Imagine
one place. We're not
you
talking about
just
the
got out of
country though.
we had just got out of slavery though. Like imagine that shit. You just get out of
That was a
slavery
long time
and
before
you
after slavery. But what are we
no,
gonna
it
keep
was
doing?
1920, so it was only 100 years ago. It was literally within the 20th century.
Yes, but you're gonna keep this. I
people
mean,
need to
Okay, so
educate
after
this
that,
all the
they
themselves.
time.
infiltrate
What are you
they
gonna do?
created this drug called crack cocaine, and then they put it into black communities
Black
to
communities was breaking up before with crack cocaine, and it wasn't in all black communities though. What about
so
now?
what
What about
about
black communities now? Is there crack cocaine in all black communities now?
There's a lot of crack
We're
cocaine in
not
black
getting together
communities.
now. We're not having
And you
people
know what? You're right. I don't want to make this
sharing
about
households now.
I don't want to make this about what the white man has done. I want to make this about what the people who were telling us to do something about it, what is their solution?
That's a
Because
good
again,
point. Yes, great.
Kanye West is a person that has shown nothing but interest in his own self-preservation. He has denounced everyone that has been helpful to him. Again, to shit on the genre of music that you've built your billions on now because you want
Mm,
to do more is crazy. To slut shame the woman that you chose to create 4 mixed breed children with is ridiculous. And
you got
all
food.
for what? Like, yeah, like he's always calling her like he said he doesn't want his children becoming prostitutes. He doesn't want his children making sex tapes
Yeah,
because
that's
that's what
so
Chris
sad.
Jenner had Kim doing. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? You have your prettiest daughter out here tricking these young niggas, and that's what he fell for. That's what he was into. He was out. You again, like you wanted us to hate and attack Pete Davidson, a person with bipolar disorder, while also being cautious of your bipolar disorder. You
Mhm.
made a video where you cut this man's head off, all because your wife left you.
I'm not
This
sure.
is that's a murderous person to me. That's a
It's
person
bad
with murderous
messenger.
intent.
The
That's a
messenger is
black man
bad.
and he has murderous intent.
The messenger is bad. I will give you that.
And
But
Candace Owen,
it's
this
the
is
message
literally
bad.
just like I'm trying to think of a good analogy. Like I can't think of one better than Uncle Ruckus. Like she, like because who does she have black friends? Who are her girlfriends?
I guess Kanye is a black friend if you want to count that.
That's not a black. Kanye is not a black friend anymore. Not anymore.
But again, the messenger, where the message is coming from, might be bad, but is the message bad? And to your point, you are right. If you're going to spit all these facts, where's the solution at? I do want to hear a solution, but I don't think she's
The
wrong in most of
solution is
what she
kind of just,
said.
look at black people, bad.
Yeah,
Look at
and
y'all, murderers.
it's the same thing Bill Cosby did years ago. Yeah, and you're right. This was like a Bill Cosby-ish type
But you
speech.
know what? I could feel Bill Cosby was doing it with love. He was telling niggas to pull your pants up,
Yeah, but the
look like
messenger,
somebody. And I
messenger.
trust Bill Cosby because
Now,
Bill
what you say
Cosby
is how
has
you say
love
it.
for the black community. I
Yeah,
don't
but you
know.
see the same way that Bill Cosby came out and they may have used him to talk against his own people or whatever. When they was done with him, what they do, they locked his ass right on
They
up,
did lock his
just
Right.
like
ass
the
right the fuck
rest of
up.
us. You know what I'm saying? So you can keep trying to not necessarily be a traitor, but try to be to the other side, that you're gonna tell us and kind of put us in our place sometime.
Terry
Tell us
Crews.
about us as the people, that kind of thing. And you could let them use you for that. But he has shown, as amongst other people, when they done with you, you a nigga just like the rest of us. You know what
Hey,
I'm saying? They're not studying no difference in that. But
and it's like it's crazy. He says all this shit about hip hop. Like you ain't so you haven't heard the story of OJ? Because it's about to be the story of Kanye. Oh, Jay-Z would be cold as fuck if he dropped. Oh my God. That would be a fire diss track if he ever wanted to go there. If he
So
ever wanted to go
let me ask y'all this then question then. We'll take it back to Black Lives Matter. Do you think we care enough, our community, do you think we care enough about our black lives, our black community? Do you think we care enough? Because we need to listen to some of this stuff and we need to find a plan of action. This is what this could be a call to action. You may not take it this way, but these things need to be fixed. I don't think the biggest thing, because Black Lives Matter, while I do, it's hard because, like I said, they got some silly shit going on with them. But addressing police violence, that's something to address. Great. But to me, that seemed slightly minute to the broad spectrum of things that's going on in our community that we need to touch within ourselves, that they are not going to touch. We got Aunt Jemima, we got her bottle change, we got some statutes knocked down. We got a bunch of virtue signaling that happened in 2000 after George Floyd was murdered, but not enough after that was done. So if they're not going to do it, we're going to have to do it. And because we can't keep talking about this hundreds of years after slavery, they're not going to do everything that needs to be done in our own homes.
You
We
know
need to
what's
clear
more
our homes
dangerous? Black
first.
people will tear some. I'm sorry to, but black people will tear some shit up when we are unjustly killed. And to answer your question, no. Sometimes we don't care about ourselves enough, and I blame that on us not knowing ourselves, on us not loving ourselves, on
Value.
us not really being in touch with who we are as people first, and then as black people. We don't know that because again, we just look at it as black. When you hear that word, that's a negative overtone. When you
It
think of
sounds like it's
blackness,
genetic,
you think of
right?
darkness, you think of evil. You know what I'm saying? We are different. We are
We can
Afro.
change it.
You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? We have to. So it has to become cool. And the reason the reason I can't see what they're saying as a call to action is because it's coming from people that I know genuinely don't care about the
I,
progression
I
of
can't
black
argue
people.
against that. I
Like
can't. You're
I
right.
know Kanye West truly doesn't care about me as a black man because he has shown so. I know that Candace Owens truly does not care about me as a black man because she has shown so. So no, we don't care enough about ourselves, but this is all that she called. I'm stuck on that. She called us the most murderous people on this planet. We are still we're still only day 3 into the biggest trial in American history for the Oath Keepers, the people who stormed the Capitol on January 6th. Now, again, she's calling us murderous, but on January 6th of last year, more recent, a militia, multiple militias of angry white people did something more dangerous than black people have ever done. They stormed the Capitol building. They were going to kill elected officials, not just they weren't going to storm in there and say, "Hey, give us back the election." They were going in there to kill people. They were going in there to do what white people have always done, which is rape and pillage. They love it. That's literally how they got this country.
And
Like,
if that was
as
black
the Native
people,
Americans.
they would have lit them up on them steps.
Oh, definitely.
You would have
There were
saw
police
bodies
there.
falling down. They would have
They
killed
murdered a police officer that day.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
If it was black people, it wouldn't have went down like that. They wouldn't even got inside because
And they dropped
they
these
killed them.
pictures of them wearing these shirts the exact day the trial started. I feel like if there's a Republican agenda to be kept, that's a good one right there. Because that, what I'm saying? That because again, I swear to God, I opened my Google, my Gmail one day just to check my emails. And I was scrolling through because I'm one of those people. I hate notifications. I love a clear screen. I hate seeing red numbers. I get that shit out. I have an OCD for that. So I open my emails without even looking at them sometimes. And then I open one from Apple News and I'm like, I get my news from Twitter. I'm a fucking millennial. Okay. I get my news from Twitter and from YouTube and from Facebook. That's what I do. But I saw the headline of Oath Keepers trial underway, biggest trial in American history. I'm like, that wasn't a trending topic. Fucking Kanye West and Blueface sex tape and fucking Nicki Minaj Cardi B beef is trending right now. I even went to the news pages of all my social media sites, of Twitter, of Facebook, of Snapchat, of fucking Reddit. I went to Reddit. That's how you know I was really trying to go down a fucking rabbit hole. Like I had to type it in all the way on YouTube to actually and in Google, obviously, to find information about it because no one was trying to put light on this. This was an insurrection on American soil. This was terrorists. This was a group of murderous people. The leader of said cult said his only regret was not having assault rifles. We're talking about black people running around in the streets killing. They want that. They want one nigga to kill another nigga so that they could put that nigga in jail, so that they could put us back in some form of slavery, which is prison, because that benefits a rich 1%. So again, and Kanye West is trying to be one of that or part of that rich 1%. So who do you think you got it? Who do you think your new audience is? That's why there's no more music about I'm a sick fuck who likes a quick fuck. Yeah, because that was you. I'm not gonna let you forget that shit. You was out here wilding with Lil Pump a couple years back, but now you Mr. Sunday Service and shit. Man, fuck that, man. They lying.
But all the things that Candace Owens says, y'all, I want you guys to say something. What are we going to do? What is something we can do to work on the violence that we do have amongst our community? Yes, we kill amongst proximity, black on black, there's white on white crime, it's Mexican on Mexican crime, whatever. But we do it at a high proportional rate amongst each other.
How we know that? Maybe they only
Yeah.
telling. Maybe they only telling what the black people do, but they don't tell what the Asians.
Because how often do you see a story says Mexican man kills Mexican man?
He killed 35 children. He killed 35 children in Thailand. I think it was Thailand. 30. He murdered 35 children today.
Who's that? I didn't hear.
It was a gentleman. He went into a daycare with little kids. They were sleeping, and he murdered 35.
How he get up in there?
In the news. It was in the news. I think it happened in Thailand.
Oh my God.
I mean, a lot of things they're quick to report our stuff. But
there's federal statistics.
I'm not trying to pull a race card, but trust me, I'll be online and I'll be reading. A lot of stuff don't get posted. We get posted.
I'm not even talking about posts. I'm talking about federal statistics that shows every breakdown of every race and what murder per capita happens in each race. It's broken down. We are up there. We're number one when it comes to per capita.
And you know what? Here's the other problem I have with it. Like we touched on it a little bit on last week's episode. We are living in a culture that has been in a chokehold for the last couple of weeks because of Jeffrey Dahmer's docuseries on Netflix. A murderous white man. And motherfuckers love it. Evan Peters should get, because when it's them as when they're being framed as murderers, it's artistic. We can appreciate.
Let's keep it on the real though. We're not talking about movies. We're talking about real life.
I'm trying to keep it on the real, but it's real relating to our image, the things we're allowed to be. You know what I'm saying? We can't And it speaks to the opportunities. Like again, Kanye West is trying to be a part of that 1% that only caters to people that look like them. And unfortunately, it's not people that look like him. But his biggest supporters are people that look like him. So it's almost like mind fucking us. Like that whole video was it felt like a mind fuck. Like someone was trying to, it's like someone wanted me to be a slave again. Someone wanted me to feel like I am too savage for my own freedom. You know what I'm saying? It made it feel like y'all are so murderous. Y'all kill your own babies. Y'all just made a law that made it illegal to, like, and again, pushing Republican ideals. They just made it a law to, or they just, made it illegal to get abortions. And here she is saying, well, look at, yeah, like telling people that they should feel bad about getting abortions done. Again, Black women are the most mistreated women on this planet, and they are raped and sexually assaulted at a disproportionate measure than other women. So I can completely understand a woman that has the choice over her body wanting to say, I don't want this child. They took that choice away from them. Here comes Candace Owens trying to make us feel bad for those tough decisions, those gray areas that they're trying to make you forget in this black and white world that they want you to forget. They're trying to make it seem like that we're stuck in a mirage, that we're stuck in an illusion. I didn't like that shit. Like they were like, oh, Black Lives Matter makes you feel like it's white people's fault. It's like, no, reality does. It's like literally, like I don't choose to go outside
I
and
don't know
feel
why
anxious.
she stated that blacks have the most abortion rate. That is not true. The highest rate is in China and Russia. What's she
She's talking
talking
about
about?
America, but she's just talking about America. Things with America. That's what she was stating as, not the world. She was talking about America. The murder rate, abortion rate, obesity rate. She's talking about America. America
There are
has the
way more
highest
fat
obesity
white
rates.
people than there are black people. No. White people are in terrible shape, and I will
They're
die
in
on that hill.
it's nowhere near that much with white people
They're
to
in
black
terrible
people.
shape, and they
And we
age
can't go
poorly
off of just because we're poor, because it's third world country poor that doesn't have obesity rates as high as us.
because they're
They were poor.
malnourished.
They were poor, but they were malnourished and poor here 40, 50 years ago, and the obesity rate wasn't that high. This is a new age thing. This is the last 90s, 2000s thing. It wasn't like this 30, 40, 50 years ago, and people were just as poor back then. And people
And
were
again,
just poor
so
back then.
again, when we're framing it
They
with
don't put
they
the
had
healthy.
to,
They don't really put the healthy things in our black community. We get Chinese food. We get
We didn't
Popeyes.
have that before, though.
We get Kentucky Fried Chicken.
and
They
that
get
was
the
for a
food
reason.
markets. They get the other vegetable places, whole food or something it's called. They usually put those things in their communities. I guess maybe they feel that it's more affordable. That they can't put this in the black community because it's not affordable.
Because why would you waste money on people that you don't want to see prosper? They don't look
But
like you.
we
Some of
can't
the vegetables and all that
we have
grocery
to live
store.
our lives.
You
We
don't have
can't
to eat
go
these foods.
by just because they put Popeyes in your neighborhood. That don't mean you have to eat it.
That's
But
right.
You're
That's what
right.
I'm saying.
we
We
gotta
got to
do
take
better
accountability
and
somewhere
eat
now.
better
Oh,
and
my accountability,
exercise.
if when I have children, I'm homeschooling them niggas.
That's one way of doing
We
accountability.
have to educate our children. Like there's an episode that I have every Friday. It's like a bonus episode, and it's called Black History. And I
Mhm.
go back and I put on when it first started, when slavery first started. People got to start educating their children, and not to hate. I don't put it up there to be racist, but I get tired of sometimes my friends they let their kids play the iPad and playing games and playing. You got to educate your children. Let them know where they came from. Let them know that we got to work harder than any other race. Educate them. Let them know about the past, their ancestors. They're not doing it.
There's the other thing. Besides just telling them where they came from, we got to tell them where they can go. I don't think we do enough of that. Tell
Right.
them where they can go. We tell them enough about where they came from or the short history of slavery, not before all that. We need to tell them where they can go. We don't. LT, you remember that video I think I posted in the group? I wish I could pull it
Yes,
down.
it was
The
beautiful.
what was it? It was it was a father and
The
son
yeah,
talking to
father and
each other.
son football. Coach walked by and said, "Hey, keep that up. You'll be in the big league someday." And he
Yeah,
looked at his dad and was like, really, Dad, can you think I can go to the big leagues? And his dad's like, yeah, you could do that, but guess what else
do
you
so
can do?
much more.
So much fucking more.
Like the lowest percentage, you have the lowest chance in history of doing anything, of trying to become a football player, a professional football player, and being successful is there's a low chance you'll ever do that. There's a higher chance you become a doctor. We don't push that enough. We always talk about where we came from. Let's talk about where we can go.
And
That
you
we
know what?
don't
You're
do that
right.
enough.
And for a long time in our community, education and going to school has been frowned upon. But
That
again,
also
like
is something that's the culture. Our
the,
culture is sometimes trash when it comes to shit like that. We need
but
to
you
talk
have to look at
more.
where you have to, and you can ask us, you can't heal what you don't reveal. Where does that come from? That comes from our mothers and fathers telling us, don't let them white people know that you can read and write or they'll kill you. That comes from our sending little girls to
We
school and
gotta
it
change that.
getting bombed.
We
That comes
gotta change
from
that though.
trying
We
to go
can't
into
keep
their
playing. That's
all white
lazy.
institutes, into the Ivy League, and people shouting outside, "Go back to your own school, nigger, nigger." So it's like, you know what I'm saying?
We
They've
don't have to
never,
deal with that today though. We are more powerful. That's
and
like
you're right, we have our
me and Sparky were
HBCUs,
talking
but
about
when we
this one
try to go
time.
into
We
jobs and try to go into corporate positions,
right.
hey, I'm a graduate of Howard University. They look down on us. Oh, Howard, I guess you couldn't get into Harvard or something like that. Like they still look down on us when we seek education, when we get our own education. So it has to go further than sometimes I'm thinking we
I
might
don't
have
think
to
we
go
we
back
look
to
at
Africa.
each other as powerful enough. I said, me and Sparky talked about this one time. I don't think we see each other enough as powerful. We're like, I
We don't.
understand 60 years ago, 70 years ago, they had it harder and they persevered. We still got to persevere, but it's nowhere near like it was Jim Crow era, civil rights era. We have way more power than we give ourselves credit for. And
Hmm.
that's what we got to speak
You are
on where we
100%
can
correct.
go. I mean, I don't want to forget the past. You know, if you get the past, it's doomed to repeat itself. History, that is. We need to talk about where we can go. And we got to
And you know what? We're saying the
talk
same
about
thing.
what
So
is going on
I
now.
do
We got to
agree.
quit blaming stuff that's happening now. We can work on that too, but we need to talk and speak positivity to the future. We don't do that enough. We got to stop talking about if you talk a certain way, you're not black anymore. We got to stop doing that. We got to stop having um, one parent households. That's a big thing that's destroyed the black community.
I
You can't
agree.
bring generational wealth without doing that. And so independent women raising children on their own, working 3 jobs, and
And
that's
I
why
gave
we
you my
have to.
answer to that. Like, in order for us to really get onto that, the people that we it has to come from people that genuinely care for us. For our well, one, we need to genuinely care for that on our like for ourselves as individuals. Every individual person needs to think it's cool to love yourself, to love positively, to learn, to read, to be well read, to travel, to be worldly, to understand different perspectives, different points of life, to not be stuck in what you think your box is supposed to be because of your skin tone. I adamantly hate when people say, "Oh, you watch this, you shouldn't be watching this. You're black." The fuck you mean I shouldn't be watching this? I'm black. That's exactly what someone who doesn't want me to see something to enlighten myself would say to. That's someone who doesn't want to see me succeed would say. That's what they would say to me. Like, you shouldn't be doing this because you're so and so. Like, that's a mindset that has been taught to us and imprinted into us that we imprint into each other. We do it from the time that we're children. We do it as when we're friends running around in the neighborhood. Oh, look at this motherfucker. He watching anime. He weird. And it's like, they're fighting. That's what we do. The
But you
fuck?
know what we got to do, LT? Like you mentioned with the bro code thing, we got to hold each other accountable, and we can't get mad when somebody brings up something like Candace Owens brings up. Let's say it comes from me. Let's say it comes from your best friend or father, uncle, grandfather that says these same things. We got to work on these things. The messenger is actually better this time. I can agree with you if you don't like the messenger, Kanye or Candace. If you got a problem with that, hey, I'm fine with that.
If the messenger
The
is your
message
best
is not
friend,
bad to
yes,
me.
because you know your best friend genuinely cares for you.
Right, right. And I totally agree with that. So if this did come from a place of love and you're holding your friend accountable, But a lot of times when we hold each other accountable for the things you just named, some of the things I named, they call you a sellout. You're not down with the cause. What is the cause exactly? Like I said, we've been championing
And I listen to Public Enemy.
OB, love Public Enemy. Oh, and we don't. And if you want to go into that, we don't have those type of images anymore. If you want to say
We don't.
those images are not pumped out,
There
but
was a certain, and I can agree, there was a certain point where being dumb became cool.
right,
Like
that seems like
just got my report card, throw some D's on that bitch. Like there was a certain point where being dumb absolutely became, this is what
I
you're
think that's
supposed.
when
This is
social media came around. But more
again,
people
people are
had
adult.
opportunity to put their influence on your children. But here's the thing: if they're the music labels are not going to push these type of rappers if we don't buy the music. And I know they're not the biggest pushers. I know white people probably make up the biggest demographic for buying hip hop music, but white
They're
people are not going to buy
also
it if they don't see us buying it. They're
they're
buying it
also
based
the
on us on this
distributors
music.
as well. So you have to think. I was having this conversation with my homegirl actually. We have to think about it from the standpoint of the artists, like as well.
Mhm.
They create this music. I know Kanye West. If you're choosing to make gospel, something about that should be coming from a pure altruistic place. You want to make music that is uplifting, that brings people to peace. You named your album after your dearly departed mother. So something about that should be positive. You want to do something positive for people. But the distributors, like the people that your label goes through, the Warner Brothers, the Universal, so on and so forth, they're white guys, they're Jewish guys, and they are tone deaf in terms of music. They think they know, well, audiences don't want to hear songs about reading books and eating healthy and respecting women. Audience don't want to hear songs about that. Make songs about like we have to admit, the music business is a business now. Like if it was
Mhm.
still just street poets, like niggas that look like Most Def, that just woke up every day and just rapped in front of us for our amusement, it would be much different. But because the music business is a business, there's always somebody in the back saying, follow this formula, this, because I'm giving you the money, I'm giving you the advance for your album. So follow this formula, or I'm not going to give you the advance for your album. I'm not going to give you the promotion you need. I'm not, like, artists have to work within a very constricting environment to create.
Right.
So I do feel for them on that level. So like if they're being told we're not going to release this song you made about, the problems in Haiti, we're going to release the song about shaking your ass on the dance floor because that's going to get streams and that's going to generate. What can you do? But you can go independent. But a lot of artists are afraid to do that because a lot of them are coming from a situation of poverty where they
That,
don't want to go back to it. They want to continue to take care of their family, but now instead of taking care of like their
there's other
community and
jobs
being,
though besides being a rapper though. Take get
and you're right. But in terms of talking about Kanye West, like who the
How hard
message
is
is
it to
coming
be a
from.
successful rapper? Just like a football player, it's hard to be a successful rapper. There is rarely you're going
I
to
mean,
find
I'm
a
saying
Kanye
that
West
because let's be
playing.
honest, the most influential people that, if we're trying to influence the youth, and you're right,
Mhm.
because again, this all goes to what we're saying. Education should be cool. The coolest people on the world should be astronauts, should be
Mhm.
doctors, should be lawyers. It should be people that solve mathematic equations that
Or just
literally
somebody
tell
who
us
works
how
a
life
job and
works.
raises their family.
Neil
That
deGrasse Tyson should be a billionaire.
love that guy.
I fucking love Neil. Him and Bill Nye are my fuck. Like
Grew up on
oh
Bill
my
Nye.
god, I
Bill
love
Nye, the
Bill Nye.
science guy. I love that.
Like that
Saturday
would
mornings.
that's the only reason I passed science a lot in 4th and 5th grade. Both of those years. They were tough years for me, but Bill Nye got me through them. But yeah, people that have intellect like that literally help us figure out the way the world works and the way we work as human beings should be cooler. But let's be honest, the most
Amen.
influential people are the people that can
All
sing the
bad.
best, the
Yeah.
people that can run the fastest, the people that can do the typical, you know what I'm saying, the typical skills that America, I'll say, America holds as valuable.
Basketball
It,
players, sports, all that.
shut
Bad
up and
food.
dribble, LeBron. Like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
All the
Like
bad
it's
things are the most popular. Bad food, bad
for us
people.
though,
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
us, because you could be a CEO like fucking Jeff Bezos and be famous for what? Because he's rich. That's why he's famous. Or like because the CEO of Walmart isn't like a fucking. He's not doing interviews on 20 like on 60
Mhm.
Minutes. So like it's all self indulgent, and we picked it up from We picked it up from our captors, and we need to break out of it. And breaking out of it,
Actually,
breaking out of it starts with getting
'cause
back to ourselves.
if this happened, if they had that many people in country music and rock music killing each other like we are in hip hop,
There is that.
they would have shut it down. If they had Jewish people, well, not just Jewish people, if they had anybody outside of Jewish people calling them derogatory names, they would come down on them. They would have to shut down the show, the movie, the store, wherever it came
Other
from.
communities come
We,
together a lot better than we do. Yes.
we do. Yeah, you're right. And they don't have words. They just call each other and it's like,
They do. The thing is, they do. They just don't. Like, you don't hear Chinese people calling each other chinks or
in a
like
friendly way. I
you know
mean,
what I'm saying?
anyway.
Like,
Yeah.
what up, my chink? Like, they're not doing that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, no
We say
Mexican is
cool.
running around. What up, my beaner? Like, except for
Yeah.
Carlos Mencia, but you see, he's not around anymore. Like,
Right.
real actual Hispanics didn't find him funny.
All right. We keep saying, "Oh, we taking away the power from him." You can't take away the power from it if a random person can't call you that. That's
Yeah,
not
like,
taking away the power.
and I agree. We you know what? And that's a good place to start. Maybe we should start with really. And they tried to do this about 10 years ago. We tried to abolish the N-word.
We try, but
We tried.
we love it so
It
much.
sounds so good, nigga.
It does, but it's like bad food. It's like the bad food is so bad for you, but it tastes so good, and you don't want to let it go.
And you know what? I keep thinking about that quote that Richard Pryor said. You know, when he went on his little pilgrimage, that when he went on his little pilgrimage to Africa and shit, it was like, hey, yo, look around this motherfucking country. Do you see any niggas? And he was like, nah. He was like, all right, then stop. Like, this is himself talking to himself. Stop calling niggas niggas.
You know, I was having this conversation with somebody the other day about in Africa, they don't look at each other as just black people. It's tribalism over there.
Yoruba, Igbo. You know, like they acknowledge each other by their. I be on Clubhouse and I, you know what I'm saying, I be talking to people and shit. A lot of them be African. And they don't acknowledge each other by dark skin or light skin.
Right.
They acknowledge each other by you're Igbo tribe. Oh, you Ghana. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you Hosa. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're Swahili. Oh, they like, because they have that knowing of themselves. Like the way a white person can ask their Nana, hey Nana, what was the old country like? And she can just fucking tell them. We don't have that.
Right. And we have to make it up pretty much. Or accept someone else's.
It starts from such a negative place. It starts from,
with it.
well, the first person I knew was of your great granddad, and he was a slave. That's where our history starts when we're looking at it from an American sense. As black people, in order to really progress, we really have to learn the fullest extent of our history. That's how you find the power within yourself. And that's why I was looking at images and stuff, or talking about, you know, Evan Peters playing Jeffrey Dahmer. White people can play around with images because they've always seen themselves in heroic, powerful senses.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They can play the bad guy because we literally chiseled rock formations of slave owners and rapists in fucking South Dakota. This is wherever Mount Rushmore is.
Yeah.
We have them on our money. We went over to the Middle East and took dictators off of their money, but we still keep slave owners and rapists on our money.
Right.
Like, white people always get to see
the
themselves.
human form of the Confederate flag on a mountain.
You know what I'm saying? They got pyramids on the fucking dollar. Ain't no pyramids in America. The fuck? You want to be black so bad. And there's a reason they don't want us to know deeper about ourselves, because there's rich culture there. There's things to make us more powerful. Like, and you know, it's glad that we're talking about this. I'm actually writing a book of mantras, affirmations, and just all types of ill shit to say to tap into your inner divinity, titled Peace God.
Coming soon.
Ebook coming soon. And I'm going to narrate that bitch. So yeah, we're going to get some audiobooks out here.
Okay. All right. Is it anybody else want to speak on this before we close this one out? Oh, damn. Hold it up a little closer. Is that yours?
No. This is,
okay. I thought it was your book.
This is Triple Beam Dreams, brought to you by James Dunlap, an artist out of Cleveland, Ohio. I will be narrating this book for him.
Okay, nice.
If you like power,
that comes
this is pretty much power in a fucking book.
What's that about?
Actually, you know what? Raising Canaan. This is
what is that
Raising
about?
Canaan.
What is that about? What's that book about?
Oh,
Just a short.
Here you go. Here you
Don't
I know.
read the whole book. Just give us a short analysis.
Like I said, if you watch Raising Cain, it's pretty much my headphones fell back. Drug dealer come up. You've seen it. Hustler's ambition. Close my eyes. Listen.
Raising Cain. Okay.
Yeah,
You
right.
just said Raising Cain, so then all right.
Because the line "Triple Beam Dream" or the title "Triple Beam Dreams" is from the song. I'm just triple beam dreaming, niggas be scheming. You know, shout out my nigga 50.
I was thinking of Biggie. I don't know. Triple Beam Lyrical Dream. I beat that.
That too. You know what?
See that
And
all the time, big.
you know what?
Girls on shoulders. Playboy. I told you. All right, I'm gonna stop.
You were born in the 80s. I was born in the 90s. That's why that happened.
There's a cultural difference there. All right. Cool. All right. Does anyone else, want to speak on this before we move on? Sparky, you good?
I got a lot of feelings. As far as what we're gonna do, though, as a people, it always hurts my heart that it seems like as soon as we get a little bit, we gotta break off. Like when I look at other communities, they live generations in a home. They may have the kids, the grandkids, the great grandma, everybody's in the house so that they can take care of one another. The younger ones are taking care of the elderly are help taking care of the kids. You may not have daycares involved, things like that. It allows people to stack money. It allows you to pass stories and traditions down for generations and things like that. But it seems like us as a culture, as soon as we get $1, we trying to run up out of mama house, or we trying to move away, or we trying to go there. And I get wanting to do better and get out the hood or to get or whatever. But, you got to pull somebody with you. Each one got to teach one. The only way that we're going to get ahead is if we come together, and we don't do that as a people. Our dollar doesn't even circulate in our community for any amount of time. When you look at how long a dollar stays in the Black community as opposed to the Asian community, to the white community, to the Latin community, it's nowhere comparable. And that's why a lot of times when you look at our community, we're in the state that we are in. We're not putting back into ourselves. We constantly are, I don't want to say putting on airs, we constantly like almost trying to get outside people to basically make us who we are, to validate us. You know what I'm saying? Instead of us being able to validate ourselves, instead of knowing you the shit, and regardless of whether somebody else tell you that you're not, or you're not doing it that way, or you don't talk that way, or you don't wear this, or you don't wear that, but still knowing you the shit, and keep on being the shit. Saying we don't, a lot of times we, we cave. As parents, a lot of times we don't teach individuality. We don't teach our kids to stand with your 10 toes down. I don't give a damn what nobody else say about you liking anime, this, and that. That's what the hell you want to watch, and that's what you watch.
Right.
But a lot of times as parents, we don't put that to our kids. What I'm saying? We want our kids to, do better and be better than us. And I get that we all do, but sometimes what we make it seem like that has to look like is not necessarily, you know what I'm saying? So we have a lot going on. And I say we because, of course I'm Black, I'm involved. But I try to with my sons stand on their own too. And not that they don't get help or anything like that. That's not what I mean. But like when it's something they want to do, that's what they're going to do. And it doesn't really matter who says what about it. That's just who they are. I was a foster parent. So I saw problems in the community. I saw different children. I saw different things. So don't talk about it, be about it. Instead of putting my mouth on the situation and da 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 da. All right, let me take some of these kids into my house. See if there's something I could do to help. See if I could offer a helping hand or that type of thing. I mean, I think that we have to do that. And like you said, we have to love ourselves enough. And sometimes I just don't think that we do that. And I don't even think it's intent. I think, from how society depicts us, a lot of times and just not having the history. I know sometimes when I think about myself, I wonder where, if I could go all the way back, like what tribe I'm from, or what part of, and I know there's tests you can get and all different kinds of things, but even that in itself is a whole situation. But I've been to Africa, and it was crazy because when I got off the bus, I went on a mission trip. So we went to wash feet, give out shoes, da 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 da. So, and every day we went to a different village. Like we drove hours. You saw, oh my God, this is things you saw were amazing. But when I would get off the bus, the people would be staring at me. I mean, staring at me, the villagers. So I finally asked my interpreter, "What? Like, why are they looking at me like that? Like, what?" And the dude was like, "For one thing, most of them probably ain't never seen a black missionary. The second thing is they're trying to figure out what your tribe is. They're trying to
Mm.
figure out who your grandmother is. Everybody over here,
Oh.
we know each other. Somebody could look at you in your face and they know that you so and so, so and so, so and so, so how many generations back." He said, so when they see you, they looking at you, they trying to find your people. They trying to figure out whose grandkids you are, whose sister you are, who's this. It was amazing to me, and after they started talking to me and they real, it was like a whole kinship. I still have some people that I keep in contact with from there, but it was amazing. Like it was amazing, but really, like even earlier when somebody was talking about people knowing, somebody's grandma, this, like they know down to the tribe. Like I could tell that they were searching my face for features, for
Yeah.
different mannerisms, because they wanted to see who to attribute me to,
They'll look at your
you
feet.
know.
Like,
Yeah, they look at everything. I'm telling you, they was looking at me. You know how you see where they show like different, it's a bad analogy, but how they show like different primates and they kind of will be grooming each other and going through their
Mhm.
hair and looking at everything to make sure
I
there's
get,
nothing
yep, I get
on
what you're
them
saying.
and their, yeah, it was like that. I could feel that they were dissecting me quick,
Wow.
quick too.
I got
But it wasn't in a bad way, but I could just tell it was different. I could
like
tell
they
the
knew
way
you.
that they were looking at me was different than the way that they were looking at, the other people that were on the trip that didn't look
Different than
like me.
how different than
Yeah.
how a white person, like I'm like, just for analogy as a stranger, but different than how a black person feels in America. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
It was let me tell
just
you
walking
something.
into a Walmart. You know what I'm
The
saying?
Wow.
I feel like their eyes are
craziest,
on me.
the craziest thing happened. Our van broke down on the side of the road. And so we all had, it's got a flat tire, nothing major, but we all had to get out because the jack for the van or the handle for it was underneath of the seat. So we all had to get out on the side of the road. So we were out on the side of the road. I swear, y'all, the bush was about up to my waist. So you could just see the stick in the bush. So all of a sudden, these kids come out of the bush. There was three kids. One was a little baby. She had on a t-shirt, should have had on the pamper, but didn't. So she just had on like a tank top. And there was an older brother and a little sister. So all the missionaries on the trip were giving people things. This is when the little jelly bracelets were out. They were, you want some of this? You want that? Trying to get the kids to come to them and stuff. And so the kids would go get the bracelets and stuff, move back, get the candy, move back. The little baby started yelling this word. And I don't want to say what the word is because I don't want to mistake the word. But he kept yelling. So I looked at my toe. I was like, what is he yelling? He was like, ghost. And
Said
I was like,
ghost.
huh? Ghost.
Mm-hmm.
Ghost. Like Casper. Ghost. And so I kind of looked at him and he was like, they have never seen white people before. He was like, we are out. We're out in the,
Oh,
white people is something that
you. Oh,
I was in Africa. We was out. We was out.
Africa.
Yeah. So
Right.
so he was like, they've never see. I was in Burundi, is where I was at, but at the time. And so he was like, they've never seen white people. It's something that they've heard about as children. They're an urban legend. They've heard about the white people, the people with no skin color that will come and take you and you will never come back home. They've been
Oh,
fed those stories from birth, but they've
good for
never
them.
seen a white person.
And even
So
better for them.
the baby was screaming and running and scared of the white people. And of course, the white people couldn't understand. Well, why is the baby running and screaming? Why the baby won't take the candy? And but baby don't want your gifts. The baby already been hip to, gifts to be used to, lure you this way. Da 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 da.
Yeah,
But it was
that's
a whole situation. Believe me, it was something to see.
I would
Wow.
love
It
to
was
see that.
something to
I would
see and
love to see that.
experience. Like, I swear it was something to see and experience. And I was like, wow, that's amazing. You don't ever think about, I guess I hadn't really thought about before, that there were people that really never seen white people. We see them all the time. So you don't
Mhm.
think that much, what I'm saying, of it. But he was like, yeah, they ain't never seen no white people before. They've heard of them, they've heard the
Right.
stories, but to actually see one, oh, I
Stories
was
are
like,
true. Oh
wow.
my god. That
Wow.
Huh?
little girl was so smart. That
Oh
little
yeah,
girl
she
is
was running. She was running. She was
Mhm.
running
oh,
and yelling. The older brother and sister would take the things and then move back some. You know what I'm saying? But the little one, the little one didn't want nothing. She wasn't trying to hear it. No, you can't give it to me. And she was screaming and running. I was like, wow, that's what really made me ask, what is she saying? She's saying the same thing over and over, so I could tell it's something. And that's when the guy, the interpreter, explained to me. I was like,
that's spooky.
ooh.
Ooh, spooky season.
Yeah, I was like, wow.
That's good. That's a good story.
That was amazing.
Mhm.
It was a good experience,
Wow.
trust me. You
Wow.
see something like that, you go there, you see your people. I don't care where you go, Africa, they your people. They was my people. They were my, it might not have been directly where my people were from, but they were my people. I felt like I
Mhm.
was home again. It smelled different. You cannot go and experience something like that and not have almost an enhanced love for yourself. It just gives you a different feeling. It was an awesome trip. That and Haiti. And Haiti was life changing too, because they the most joyous poor people I've ever seen in my life.
They'll
And
pop
and
a
and
mango.
for a
Ooh,
lack of better words, it's almost like they didn't even know that
what
Mhm.
they
is
were
wealth?
poor, so to speak. Right. But they were just so happy. It was a lesson in gratitude that I couldn't get anywhere else on that level. To go somewhere and you see a parking lot at night that there's, let's say, 100, maybe 150 houses there. They all little 10 houses. You go back in the morning at 7 o'clock, the whole parking lot is clear. The 100 houses are gone. And so you're saying to the people, what? And so they said all of the houses were all made of metal decking, and they were all basically like on a hinge system. And so the people went there every night and put their shack, their shelter up. And they made a whole village, a whole community at night. But by 7 o'clock in the morning, when the business people came in, the whole thing was dismantled. And you would see these people with buggies and carrying, that was their house. That they carried their house with them for the day.
Mm,
Kids going on to school. It was crazy, and it was wild to see. But it's a gratitude thing that it's like, wow, I have nothing to complain about. And don't get me wrong, I still do. I'm human,
We all do.
But when things happen, I have to remind myself, ho,
Mhm.
mm,
you got way too much. You've seen
okay.
too much, been too many places. I'm gonna need you to get it together, girl. And I talk to myself like that. But yeah, it was amazing, amazing.
How long are the flights for Haiti and Africa?
Africa, I want to say it was 20,
Ooh.
20 something hours.
Oh,
But you go, you go, because when we went, we stopped at Ethiopia. So you had it, almost everybody stops at Ethiopia. We stopped there. You have a long layover in Ethiopia. So that was like the whole travel time. Haiti was short. It was not long travel time at all. Um, hour and something. Hour and something, less than 2 hours. We were back. So that was quick. But the one to Africa was long. It was long. But you on a huge plane, so you get
mhm.
up, you walk around, and they just don't want you to, gather in certain areas, but you get up and walk around, stretch, all that kind of thing. It's about 12 seats across, 12, 14 seats across. There's so many seats, but it's a long flight. You need some recovery time. I think I was there for like 2 weeks, and you needed to be there at least that amount of time, because one, the amount of money you pay to go to make it make sense,
Mhm.
but to see everything. And I still didn't get to see everything, but just to be able to see so many things, you needed to be there for some time, because it's just so much to look at. Man,
Wow.
you driving and your head's just turning, because you're looking at everything, And trust me, everywhere you go, they looking at you. People just want to touch you. They just want to. The people just want to touch you. They just want to. They just want to touch your clothes. They just want to touch just everything. Everybody's wanting to give you things. They're celebrating you. it's not they loving you. You get there, man. People were doing the villages, doing dances for us, and all out to welcome us. It was just such a feeling that I was like, wow. Like I said, I made some good friends while I was there. Still keep in touch with a couple of them. Matter of fact, one's getting ready to come to go to college in Canada soon as her visa gets through. So yeah, it was amazing.
Beautiful.
All right, let's move. That's a good ending point there. We're gonna get into the shorter segment of the show. We're gonna do the leave it or medicate it. Leave it or medicate it. What we do here is we do these small stories that don't require a lot of talking points behind them because it seems like small potatoes compared to what we just were talking about. Those required a lot of talking to get behind it. So you gonna have a minute to talk about this time, and everybody has a minute. Speak your point. Move on. We're going to the next story. We only got 2 leave it or medicated, and then we're gonna wrap the show up. First, leave it or medicated.
Leave it or medicated.
This guy right here that everybody hates, unless you're a Patriots fan or a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan, Tom Brady is supposedly getting a divorce from Giselle, his former supermodel girlfriend. It was said that she has wanted him to retire from football for the last 4 or 5 years, and they had plans for him to retire this year, which he did. He did retire in the summertime, and then all of a sudden he reneged on it and said he wants to come back and try to go for another ring. I think he has 7. He has 7 rings. He has more rings than every NFL team in the NFL. Every NFL team. One single individual. So he says it's not enough. The drive of the game wants him to come back. She wants him to retire, help raise the kids. Some of them, I think, are adolescent age, teenage, high school, whatever. She wants him to help raise. And the question is, do you think she has a point to want him to retire to come and help the kids? Because, and I'll say that, because most people who are not in the top 1%, 10% or whatever, have to work their entire lives. And so they don't have the luxury to retire in their 40s. Especially, a lot of people are not doing the things they love as a career or a job or whatever. So should she just let him go ahead and play out the rest of his career? Or does she have a rightful gripe for him to retire and go and help raise the kids along with her? Because she's retired from her career too as a supermodel. So we have a minute on that. LT, I'll let you give your first statement on this one. You got 1 minute.
Are you ready? Go!
Let's see. I'm going to
My fault. Yo, go.
was the
My fault. I
medicated?
meant to say leave it or medicated on that. So leave it if you don't have a problem with him playing football and going doing the dream he's been doing since he was a youngster. Medicated if you think he should retire and go home and raise the kids with his wife. Medicated, go home, raise the kids with your wife. Leave it if you think she shouldn't have a problem. Let him play out his career.
Damn. I'm torn on many levels. I guess I am going to leave it.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Go ahead.
Go!
I honestly hate Tom Brady. So if it like I've always hated Tom. I'm a for some reason, and I don't say this out loud a lot, and I'm probably never going to say it again. I'm a Giants fan. I don't know why. They don't win a lot, but I've always hated Tom Brady and the New England Patriots. And I remember the few times I saw the Super Bowl, the Giants beat them in the Super Bowl. So, and plus I used to be a really big Peyton Manning fan. And then when he retired, I started being a fan of his brother Eli. So, I fuck with the Giants. But yeah, if this ruins his career or fucks up if he's doing bad just on an emotional level, I'm fine with that. I really don't care. I'm not even that into football. I'm more of a basketball fan. My dad he's a really big Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan. My dad's from Miami. Why he's not a Dolphins fan, I don't know. But yeah. So sucks for her. Maybe she should leave him. She should leave him like I left it, I guess.
All right. Preezy, I'll let you go next. Leave it if you have no problem with him coming back to football and playing the duration of his, however long his career is going to be, medicated, he should go home, help raise the kids with her as she has requested for the last 4 to 5 years.
Oh, 45 years.
No, 4 to 5 years. 4
Oh,
to
I'm about to say, what?
Lord,
You need to go home. I'm sorry. Let me
those
change.
kids need to be on their own. Leave it.
He wants to leave it. Tell us why.
Are you ready? Go!
Because this is his career. You don't did what you did. You decided to retire. Leave the man alone because he's gonna come home. He gonna be home and he gonna be mad at you because you didn't let him finish his, his goal. Don't do that. This is what he loves. He's providing for the family. First of all, don't you got babysitters? You're a millionaire. I understand about her. I'm sure they do family vacations and stuff like that. You had a career. You decided to retire. Let him finish out. He still has the hunger for the game. Leave the man alone. Because now you're gonna make him angry. He's gonna be home. He's gonna be angry because he didn't do what he wanted to do. Let him leave him alone.
That man
I
go,
got plenty of time to take care of the kids. Are you rich? I'll get you about 4 babysitters.
let that man go outside and play.
No.
All right, Sparky T, do you want to leave it or medicate it?
Leave it.
All right, man, 3 leave it so far. Tell us why.
Are you ready? Go!
Because he was playing football. That was his career when you met him. Now you trying to change him as a person. You want, and I get he's gonna have to retire eventually. But as he grows and comes home with you and the kids, is some of his happiness gonna be gone because he don't have that outlet. He's not gonna be the same man. If you take the football from him, Tom Brady is not gonna be the same man that he is now, especially not if he lets it go prior to when he wants to let it go. You gotta let him finish out his career. And I'm sure that he's probably, still there for the family. He might not be there the way that she might want him to, but I have a hard time believing that he's not there for the family like that. Think about it. His job that he has ain't even 12 months long. They only play for X amount of, part of the year with the season. And then I know with practicing and stuff, but it's not like he got a 9 to 5, 365.
Right.
Okay. I guess I'm agree with everybody else. I'm gonna leave it too.
Are you ready? Go!
As Sparky said, I mean, they play, let's see, 17 games. I think maybe 8 or 9 of them are at home. So you get him home for those many games, those many weeks, then the season is over. Maybe he's not able to carry them to the bus stop. I'm pretty sure they don't have a bus stop. They probably own a bus separately and just take them like that. They probably got a helicopter to fly them to school. But this man, yeah, he's going to be ill and frustrated. When you're dealing with somebody as competitive as Tom Brady is, same thing Jordan had to go to. Jordan had to retire 3 times where he got the hint that, okay, I shouldn't be playing anymore. And then he got home, he got divorced because he was miserable. And that's a
cheated on her.
And the thing is, yeah, he had to find something. What I think is going to end up happening, I think they're in. I don't want to. I think they're going to end up getting divorced anyway because those type of people, that competitive nature that Tom Brady has, he's going to be miserable once he retires anyway. Whether he gets knocked out or retires on his own volition, he is going to be miserable trying to find something that gives him the same joy that football gives him. And it ain't going to be the kids. It ain't going to be the wife
anymore.
And it could be more to the story too. Maybe that's just what they telling us. It could be more to their marriage.
Yeah. What if she's like she's a supermodel? You retire as a supermodel, but you're kind of like forced to retire. And being forced to retire as a supermodel is pretty much people telling you you're not attractive anymore. And he might be sitting around the house agreeing with that, like that. He really might be on some. I see why you're retired, and he might be afraid that is that what's going to happen to me if I don't have anything. Like is football is life just going to go on without Tom Brady? Like most athletes really don't have a transition plan.
How
Right.
old is he?
I think like 42, 43.
He's
I'll
young.
check it. He's in his 40s, I know.
And he already got another job lined up. He got a job lined
Yeah,
up as a sportscaster already. He already had the job. He turned it down to go back.
He
But
didn't
it's,
have a job.
yeah, but it's not going to take the place of
He's
football.
45.
Right, that's not his love. You
45,
know, his
okay.
love is football. Leave him alone. Let him
Yeah,
be.
you can't win. Like you can win an Emmy as a sportscaster, but you like
Yeah.
you can't throw that 80 yards to the end zone.
I will say though, from her perspective, I'm sure she's like, shit. We don't. It's not like we need the money. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
because she
saying? We
said she didn't
don't need
win.
the money no more. It's like, so you going out there running around, the possibility of getting hurt.
Right.
You know, at least if
Yeah,
you retire now, you retiring while you up. You know, your body's intact. You can still go out and throw the ball with your sons or whatever. You know, you stay in the
from the
game
standpoint
longer
of
with
a
the.
wife, I definitely
But
get
that's
it.
what I'm
Like I
saying.
want you to
I'm
enjoy
pretty sure
life
there's more
with
to the
us.
story. It's got to be more to the story as to why she wants him to retire now. You know,
And if he did
But I mean, it
promise
could
that,
be
like,
that something. That's exactly what I was gonna say. I was about to say they could have came to a decision that he was gonna retire, or
They
he
did.
promised it and then went
right.
back on the promise. You know, so now it's like you care more about football than you do
And the
us as a
family.
you don't
family.
want either
We
he
got
don't
an
want to be
issue.
around her, or either he cared
He
too
just
much
wanna be
about
home.
football, or he don't
You
care
don't want
about
to be
her.
home. You don't want to be bored.
Yeah, nobody wants to be home 24 hours with their woman. Nobody
With
does.
you and the kids,
It sounds nice.
Yeah.
It sounds nice, but nobody wants to be home with their kids. And that's why COVID gave so many divorces, because we had to be forced and look at them 24 hours. Like, nah, man, I'm ready to go back to work. I'm tired of seeing y'all faces. Even if it looks like me, I don't want to see your face.
Kobe loved being a dad though.
And you need that family time though. Maybe it's it's enough now. We did our thing and that's it. We need that family time now.
I can see why she's pissed though. If he promised that, this year that he did retire.
I feel like she should just
We
leave
do
him
it
there.
together. We do it together, and then he said, "Nah, never mind."
Yeah, I wonder what was the thing that made him change his mind. Like you promised you were going to come home. What was the thing that forget that promise. I'm going back to football.
He got home.
He got home. he experienced life.
Oh, he was talking with his boys.
Wrong though.
He was talking to his boys. Nah, man, don't leave. Come on now, one more year, man. Come on. So that could have been it.
Got home and saw exactly what. This is what you gotta do every day.
This is why Jordan came back the third time. This is what he had to go through.
You don't get no trophies for you make dinner every day and you don't get no trophies for this.
All right.
Oh, fuck that.
I know people like that because I'm not too far from it, but he probably makes everything a competition. Even cooking, taking the kids in the carpool and trying to reach the school first before the other parents.
How old are his
almost
kids,
wrecking somebody along the way. So he doesn't know how to transfer that energy into regular life because he hasn't been a regular guy for 20 years.
So, and it's probably age. Like it could be a midlife crisis. You know what I'm saying? Like definitely. Yeah. I mean, closer to the end of it when you think about it. Especially you're a football player. Like you're 45 years old, so your body probably is functioning like a 50-year-old, maybe a 55-year-old. And then you're really wanting to get back into a car accident every time you step onto the fucking field. Like,
what it is.
Like I get what his wife is saying. It's like I want to enjoy. And again, maybe he just doesn't like his wife that much, and they should get a divorce. But yeah, it just seems like she just wants some quality time with her husband, and he's like, I'm gonna go play with my friends.
Wait to Valentine's Day. I'll give you a quality time.
I know a lot of people. They have the age and the time, and they can retire. They can walk right out the door. But they says that they like it because it keeps them going. You know, they're afraid that if they retire, they're not going to live long, right? And so it keeps them going, and they can leave. They could just walk right out the door and say, "Hey, this is it," but they don't want to do it. They want to keep going.
All right, let's move on to the last one for leave it or medicated. Boy, this guy was trying to sell. I think he was trying to sell an alarm system to this black guy, and his intro wasn't quite right. He didn't quite say the correct words to say to someone to sell his product, if you will. Check it out.
Hey, sorry to bother you. I'm Fernando. I work with Peak Energy. We're a few doors down. We're in 1845.
Okay.
So we do solar around here. We're just coming around talking to niggers. Sorry, dude. Neighbors. I apologize, man. I don't. No, man, that wasn't even.
Woo, Lord.
Okay.
Oh, he made a mistake.
He made the mistake.
He didn't clear his mind before he got all right.
What?
Don't call him the N word. Don't call him the N word. Listen,
Did
nigga,
he get
How hard is that?
fired?
How hard is?
Did he get fired for that?
I don't know. I don't know
I
what
mean,
happened
this
to him
press
after
video is all over. So,
this. Right. He probably did. More likely he did. Because there's no way you're coming back from that. Oh man, I was thinking neighbors. Come on, there's a no. So to leave it or medicated, because I've seen some people react to this and said how they would react to it. To leave it or medicated, leave it if you agree with how the guy he was trying to sell the alarm system or whatever he was trying to sell to him. If you agree with how he reacted to it, he just went back and announced like, okay, and probably went and called customer service and probably had him fired. Or medicated, you would have done something more to that guy. Maybe fought him, throw something at him, throw some hot soup on him or some fist. Right. So, Sparky T, I'll let you go first. Leave it if you agree with how he reacted in that situation or medicated or he should have done more. Maybe put some violence on him before he left. We want to leave it or medicate it.
Leave it with an asterisk.
Leave it or asterisk. All right, tell us why.
Are you ready? Go!
I mean, there's not really much you can do about an ignorant ass person at at your door using, calling somebody a nigger. Clearly, I don't think he meant to say that. But what was the gentleman gonna get by putting violence on him? You know what I'm saying? I mean, it might have felt good in a minute to put the pause on him because he used the N word, but he wasn't calling him the N word. You know what I'm saying? And even though he shouldn't have been using it at all, I just don't think that being violent or throwing hot soup on him or any of that, I don't think was going to serve the other guy in a positive manner. I don't think he was going to get nothing out of that. He walked away. He was able to close his door. All right, you dismissed him. But if you put your paws on him, now you could be going to jail because he came to your door and said he was out talking to some niggas in the neighborhood.
oh,
All right. LT, would you like to leave it? Do you agree with how the young gentleman reacted to being called the wrong N word, not neighbor, or medicated? He should more should have been done.
I'm going to. Oh man,
Mm.
I'm going to mildly medicate it.
Okay, all
Are
right, go
you
with
The
it.
mild
ready?
medicate.
Go!
I don't think any violence should come, but I'm like it. I'm take the young man out of it. I'm now wearing his shoes and I'm standing there. I want to know how many, because if the word you were looking for was neighbors, I'm pretty sure I'm not the first neighbor's house you came to today. So did you call them niggers? And did one of my neighbors call me a nigger? Like, why was nigger
yeah.
on your mind? And so yeah, we're gonna have a conversation because instead of meeting it with violence, a converse like I kind of wish. So yeah, I'm glad I went with medicated because I perfectly understand just walking away because there's no way you can truly benefit. The only way to truly benefit from it is if a deeper conversation is had. Why was niggers on your mind? I need to know. I need to know. And your answer from there might lead to violence. So mild medicate.
Okay. Preezy, what would you like to do? Would you like to leave it or medicate it?
Uh, a mixture of both.
A mixture, but we can only choose one when we do. We only can. The
Man,
doctor only can do one thing. He only can say, "Send you home. You're okay. There's nothing wrong with you," or he can give you some medicine to fix what's ailing you.
Doctor, I'm gonna need you to I need a second opinion.
I'm gonna go with Lord Trent said, lightly
Okay.
medicated.
Lightly medicated. Tell us
Are
why.
you ready? Go!
Because when he would have said that to me, I'd have been like, "What did you just say? I know you didn't just call me no nigga, Mister. Get on out of here. Get off my porch." And the reason why, you see, it's The reason why I said both is because you see that person posted that video. He's done. This video is all over. So it's like you didn't really have to say anything to him because you posted that video. He's all over. And I'm pretty sure he got fired over this or disciplined. So did you really have to say anything? No, because you posted the video. But me, if I didn't post the video, I would have said, did you just call me a nigga? I wouldn't have done no harm, but I'd been like, get off my property. And I would have went inside.
Okay. Not really any violence from either one of y'all. And
no
LT kind of had a
It depends.
conditional, depending on what his answer was.
I would kind of put an
I
asterisk
wouldn't
there
have
too,
done
because
no
it
violence.
depends.
No violence.
All right.
I don't know.
I'm gonna say leave it. But leave it for him. It's one of those do as I say, not as I do things.
Are you ready?
Because
Go!
I can't 100% say I would react the same way he did. But I think he did react the correct way. Because as we were talking about earlier, what are we going to do to help us? If I were to give advice for him, if he were to go attack him, it's going to end up 10 times worse. Yes, the guy loses his job. He'll get another job. Yeah, he could be a murderer or he just assault him, go to prison, lose his job, lose his livelihood, can't help his kids, wife, girlfriend, whatever he has. And it ends up that much worse for us. And then you fit into the stereotype that they already have for us as ultra violent. So I think he acted the right way. Would I have done it? I don't know. I don't know.
Be that strong all the time.
It's hard. To be right in front of you. Yeah. Do as I say, not as I do. I would hope to be able to do the same thing he did too, though.
Yes, he was very Christ-like. He was very zen.
He posted that video. So
right.
He posted that video. Let the world see what he
said. The thing is that dude will lose his job, but there will be again, there's always a shady organization of white people in the shadows. Get that man a job at my organization.
Back in that office, and the black coworkers, they'd have been like,
but the black coworker's not the boss.
Good morning.
And that's to even assume that he had black coworkers. He might have been working in an environment that's what they was already doing. That's why it was so easy to roll off his tongue.
You know what I'm saying? Like
they could have used the word nigga in the role play while they was doing it in the office. You don't have no idea. You know what I'm saying? So he may not necessarily get fired just because
if you get any nigger
call somebody a nigger.
Like,
what probably happened was they probably did go through training, but they would probably tell them, okay, you got to make sure to say neighbor. Go role play with him right now. Good morning, neighbor. Good morning, neighbor. And then one person was like, Nick, you keep saying nigga. Stop saying nigga. Say neighbor.
No, you just want to say nigga. He was talking to before
he was practicing in the car, but he got nervous when he went up to him.
The house he went to before that, he was having a good old conversation. Nigger this and nigger that. Oh yeah, the niggers next door, you're probably not going to get them, but them niggers over there, yeah, they're in the military. Like he was having a good old conversation with somebody about some nigger. That's why when this black person opened the door, that's all he could think about was, ooh, nigger, nigger, hey, nigger, hey, nigger.
It rhymed too much. That's why they're supposed to take the R off and put the A up there, so you won't make that mistake.
So it's like you were saying nigger. You didn't even want to be cool. You wanted to be ger. You didn't even want to go for nigga. You ain't want nigga. You ain't because nigga and neighbor. You can't. You wanted it so.
Hey,
like the nigger would.
Sometimes you got to go with nostalgia. Take it back to the good times.
Take it back to the one they created.
All right. He didn't want to do the remix version. Mm-hmm. All right. Last part we're going to go to is the deepest thought. No, just look at the video. And you can think about your opinion in your head. No, we don't have to really give you no outward opinions about it. It's just something to look at, laugh at, or whatever. This is the deepest thought. This music video that's been going on the internet lately. I don't know what the hell is going on in here. I don't even know what they're trying to sell. I'll let you look at it.
Goodness of the biscuit. Taste the honey sauce. Taste the goodness of the biscuit with the honey sauce. Don't get that honey sauce on me. I don't like the way it tastes with my chicken wings. Taste the biscuit. Taste the goodness of the biscuit. Taste the butter spread. Taste the goodness of the biscuit with the butter spread. To get your butter spread all on me. I don't like the way it mixes with my mac and cheese. Cause when you're at KFC, you got that special sauce to stir my curiosity.
Bopping to it down, see how you?
Just give me a 5-piece meal. Oh, what a deal. A big old box, it's all for me. You know I'll take coleslaw on the side. I could tell you wanted to try the potato wedges.
She got a low vibration player.
Yeah, now. Yeah, now.
This nigga into it. Hey, get it, bitch. Hey, she lit. It's a KFC commercial because they talking about KFC.
Taste the goodness of the biscuit.
This ain't got a sign for something.
Why they in
the
the
honey sauce.
They're in the thrift shop.
Taste the goodness of the biscuit with the honey sauce.
Toasters and moose.
Get your honey sauce on me. I don't like the way it mixes with my chicken wings.
So
get none of that honey sauce on me. I don't like the way it tastes on my chicken wings.
So who's
take us out, Moose?
Moose? Okay. Any white man named Moose.
Taste the biscuit. Oh my.
Right.
KFC got a new biscuit or something?
I don't know.
It had a little fire to it though, because it had you popping.
Because I don't even like KFC, but I'll taste the biscuit.
Eat a wet.
Yeah, with the honey
sounds
sauce.
like Ike Turner saying, "Taste the biscuit, taste the."
But see,
I
I
don't want
couldn't
the biscuit,
sing like
Ike.
that.
So yeah, I don't know what that was about, but I loved it either way. I don't know. I love the beat to it, and
Hey, look, my man Moose on the beat.
Oh,
he had no emotion. All the emotion was in the keyboards.
What was the sign about? Something 2009.
Moose and toasters or something. I don't know.
It was in a thrift shop.
It looked like a thrift shop, but it sounded like they were selling chicken.
Definitely a thrift shop. I didn't see not one kernel or chicken wing inside or a biscuit. Like
exactly.
What biscuit? Like, show me the biscuit. Like,
all right, y'all.
On her.
That was the end of our show, guys. Like to thank Preezy for coming up on the show. Mention your show one more time for the audience.
Thank you. Listen Up, Listen In podcast. And you can find me on my website is www.listenuplistenin5687.com.
Okay. And you're on Fridays, if I'm not on Fridays. Okay. Sparky, she just left. Okay, Sparky, thanks for coming on the show. LT, giving your deep analysis on the subject matters we had tonight. Appreciate your talking tonight and opinions. Thank everybody for coming on the show, for getting some hostile therapy, not because you want it, but because you need it. And we'll see you like we always see you.
Wait.
Oh, what's up?
Taste the biscuit.
Hey.
Oh. See?
I don't know why you had to play that all night. I'm going to be singing.
I'll tell you, that's why it's the deepest thought, because it's going to be in the deepest part of your brain. You're never going to forget this thing.
I'm really about to drive my girlfriend crazy for the next however long I'm awake with that. And I'm not going to tell her where I got it from.
She going to know. She going to know. Victor's like, you got it from Red D. Like, yeah. He always come up with some crazy stuff. But, okay. Sparky, did you want to say anything before we head out?
No, not really. Well, I said no, but I was about to say something. I think it was a good show. And
Yes.
even though we're gonna end on thinking about the biscuits, because I'm gonna be thinking about that, and whatever she was trying to sell or whatever. But what the other thing that I really do want to take from the show though is what can I do? Like, what can I do to help push my community forward? What can I do? Because it all starts individually. I'm saying if
Right.
I make me better and each person makes them better and we collectively come together like Voltron, then as a community, we're better.
I understood that
But we
reference.
spend a lot of times kind of we sometimes spend a lot of time, pointing fingers. So for me, instead of, not that we did that tonight, I'm just saying as a whole, for me, instead of doing that, I want to think about what can I do. I do some things, but what can I do better, or I can do more. So I'm gonna try to be a little bit more intentional. I'm gonna make sure, like this next week, when we come to record next week, I just want to be intentional for these. If I could just do it for 7 days on what I can do, before I know it, I have a habit formed of doing something that's, helping my community and pushing my community forward. And I think it starts with us. So I want to, end with that part. The chicken too, but that part, because I really think that
No honey sauce.
that's an
So,
important, and the honey sauce she was talking about. But I think it's important. I think it was an important topic, and I think that we had a good show. I just want to think about it for myself. So, and that's what I'm gonna do.
Yes, I enjoyed you guys. Thank you so much for having me.
we
I
enjoyed
appreciate
you
it.
too.
Oh,
Great.
and I enjoyed you too.
You,
Yes. I'm a sparkle now. Hey.
That's a good nickname.
Yes.
That
Right.
was on the spot too.
all
Uh-huh.
right, guys. All right, guys. We're gonna see y'all later on. Again, thanks for joining in on Hostile Therapy, and y'all have a good night. Peace.
Right.
Peace.